Hi there.
Hi, everybody.
My name is Emily Weaver, and I am a coordinator with the University of Arizona's Office of Admissions.
And my name's Chelsea Mraz, and I'm also a coordinator within the Office of Admissions.
A little bit more about me. So I am an alum of the U of A. I graduated a few years ago with a degree in special education and rehabilitation. I'm also from the Tucson area, which is where the U of A is located.
And I'm also a graduate of the University of Arizona. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Family Studies Human Development, and I'm from the Phoenix area originally. So I moved 2 hours south to Tucson, Arizona for school.
And we're really excited to just share more with you guys. Feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. Chelsea and I are going to wait until the end of the presentation to address those questions, as we hope to address many questions throughout the presentation. But we're excited that you've decided to spend your afternoon with us and learn more about the great opportunities at the U of A. So we'll go ahead and get started.
So the University of Arizona is actually older than the state of Arizona itself. We were established in 1885, and I have some really great photos to show some of those historic pieces. Our university has a lot of history, tradition, and a whole lot of pride. So we like to say the United States is Wildcat Country because we have alumni across the entire nation. And Old Main, that picture right there is that building, that's where everything used to be housed. So people would go to their classes, they would sleep in the dorms right there, everything happened, all the social events, all in Old Main. And we've grown quite a bit since then. This is our campus today. It is a 1 square mile residential campus. So what that means is that you'll live in residence halls, you'll eat all your meals on campus, you can walk to the football games, walk to the baseball games, walk to the basketball games, go to your classes. If you have an 8 a.m. class, a whole lot easier to walk to class from your dorm to get to your, Psychology 101 lecture, for example. You can walk from one end of campus to the other in about 15 minutes, and it's a really bike-friendly campus as well. So if you're in a position where you may not want to bring your car or may not be able to bring a car to campus, you really don't need a vehicle because campus is so condensed and it's laid out very well. We even have a hospital on our campus, a pharmacy on our campus, a little bit of everything that you think you might need when you're living in a college town.
And just speaking personally, I know that was something I really liked about my time at the U of A, was just how easy it was to navigate the campus and to find the resources I needed when I needed them as a student at U of A. So another really important piece about the University of Arizona is that we are located in Tucson. Tucson is located more towards the southern part of the state of Arizona. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, I am from Tucson. I went to the U of A, so I'm pretty biased when it comes to all things related to Tucson and the University of Arizona. But I just want to highlight a few things about the great city that is Tucson, Arizona. So Tucson is a college town, and what that means is we are die-hard U of A Wildcats fans. So anywhere you go within the city of Tucson, you're going to see the Block A, Wilbur Wildcat, you're going to find a supporter of the U of A. So I think that's really neat because not only do you get the campus community, but you really get an entire city that supports you as a student and your school. So it's neat to be a part of that atmosphere. We are a college town, but we're also a big city. So we have over 1 million people located in Tucson. That means there's a lot to do. And a lot of it, again, is going to be geared towards you as a college student. So we've had different concerts come through the Tucson area. They often will perform on campus. We've had different musicals on campus, things like Wicked, Jersey Boys. We've had different comedians who are there on campus. So just lots of great things that occur in and around the U of A campus. So as a college student, it makes it really convenient to do the things that you already enjoy doing. Here we've got a shot of something that I think is really great about Tucson, but just the beautiful scenery. So this is a shot of Mount Lemmon, which is located in the Catalina Mountains, which is just a short drive from the U of A. So U of A, we're located in the Sonoran Desert. So for some of you, if you're from the East Coast or the Northwest, it's definitely going to be a change of scenery. The desert is really beautiful, and if you enjoy doing things outdoors, it's great. Lots of hiking trails, biking trails. If you enjoy camping, things like that, lots to do outside. We also have a lot to do in terms of, shopping, a lot of great local restaurants, eateries, things like that. So really enjoy the Tucson experience. I don't know, Chelsea, do you want to chat a little bit more about Tucson and your experience coming from Phoenix?
Yeah, so coming from Phoenix, Phoenix is a really large metropolitan area. And when I went to Tucson, I really wasn't sure what to expect. And as someone who traveled from Phoenix, where you have literally everything you could think of, I was a little worried because I was used to going to Cardinals games when I was a young kid and going to those different sporting events, and I really enjoyed doing those things. At the U of A, it's all about the U of A all the time. So you'll have the city of Tucson shutting down for homecoming and having everyone come to the campus for those Pac-12 games. And whether that's football or baseball or basketball or women's gymnastics, there is a big fan base there. So if you're a student that was like me, that likes having that social aspect as part of your college experience, it was really wonderful to know that I could go to a football game and make friends and do all those sorts of things. And then if I wanted to go hiking or do an outdoor adventure or go camping, I could do those things too. Tucson's a really great place because it's a college town. So it has all the amenities of a major city, but it's condensed down to a college size, and it's wonderful.
Great. So at the U of A, we like to say that we are 100% engaged with our students, and it's because we are. So students on our campus are busy. They're engaged in their studies, they're connected with faculty on campus, and they're prepared with pertinent information that's going to help them get a job, graduate, get into medical school, law school, those graduate programs. And so it's something that we really pride ourselves on our campus, is that our students, they're not only coming in successful, but they're leaving U of A with great memories, and job offers at their door.
So with that 100% engagement and that real world ready promise that we have for all of our students at the U of A, we have lots of successes that we love to share. So we are developing employable graduates, and we're getting those graduates into great graduate schools, jobs, getting everything ready for them.
Beyond that, we have lots of great employers who come and visit our campus. So over a year, we'll have 300 plus different employers, companies, businesses, industry come and visit the U of A looking for U of A grads to hire. So Macy's, Apple, Geico, Nestle, those are just a few of the big industries that come and visit our campus looking for U of A grads.
And with that, we're performing better than average than many universities across the country. So our graduates have a 4% higher starting salary rate than the average for the nation. Our graduation rates are also higher, and our cost of attendance is a really great deal at the University of Arizona, because whether if you're coming from in-state or if you're coming out of state, we guarantee your tuition cost for those 4 years that you're at the U of A. So that really helps students with their financial planning and budgeting. And because we have 100% engagement, we have so many opportunities for students to get engaged. So if you're a student that isn't interested in the Pac-12 sports scene, there's so many other resources we have on campus because we're a big state institution. Part of that would include our study abroad opportunities. We have over 60 different agreements with countries all over the world, and you really have really great options in terms of how long you want to spend out of the country and what you want to study and where you would like to go. So if you want to do a program where you don't have to give up a semester at the U of A, you can do a summer program that only lasts 4 weeks long. Or if you want to have a full study abroad experience where you're going to be gone for 10 months, you have that freedom to make that choice as well. If you'd like to go to the university that's within China and be taught in English, you do not have to be proficient in that second language. Or if you're going to be pursuing a Spanish minor, for example, you could go to Morocco and study Spanish. And there's grants and scholarship opportunities available, and many of your colleges will be pushing you towards taking on some of those experiences, especially if you're going to be in an industry where it is important to have an international relations piece.
And what's great too, while we have these great study abroad opportunities, we also have opportunities to study within the United States. So for instance, let's say you're a journalism major and your dream is to work at the New Yorker one day. We have something called the National Student Exchange, where we swap with a school and one student will come to the U of A and then you potentially could go to that school. So traveling to New York to get that internship for a semester. So if going too far away makes you a little nervous, you have opportunities to study within the United States as well. Something that really sets the U of A apart from many institutions across the nation is the amount of research that we have on our campus. So we are a research extensive university, and last year we received over $625 million to do research on campus. That's a lot of money. And what that means for you all is a lot of opportunities. And we have research in a variety of different disciplines across campus. So whether it's education, engineering, business, we have different research ventures that are ongoing throughout campus, and you can connect with faculty members and professors to get involved. I like to share my personal experience at the U of A. My freshman year on campus, I was a researcher's assistant. I got paid for it, I got class credit for it, and I got the great experience of working as a researcher's assistant. That's something that's really helped me just grow as an individual, as a student, but then when I applied to grad school, applied to my position within the U of A, it's definitely something I included. So there's a lot of great opportunities that are available to you even as a freshman. And that really is something that's rare among many universities and institutions across the country. So some ongoing research opportunities that I like to highlight. We have a wonderful partnership with NASA, and we are, #1 national ranking for research in astronomy and planetary sciences. So if that's something that interests you, definitely a wealth of opportunities on our campus. There's also something called the Undergraduate Biology Research Program. It's an ongoing research project at the U of A where you as a student can develop your own research project or work with a professor to develop a biological study. So any of you who are thinking of medical school or you want to get into research within the medical field, great opportunities through the Undergraduate Biology Research Program. And those are just a couple. I know that there are other ventures in neuroscience, education, so really a little bit of everything in terms of research on campus.
So at the U of A, we do have a campus rec center, and the campus rec is absolutely huge. We have over 100 different exercise machines. There's a rock climbing wall, as you can see there. And what's really wonderful about the rec center is that it's already included in your student tuition and fees. So it's something that you have access to automatically as a U of A student. You can play sand volleyball. You can go swimming in the Olympic-sized swimming pool because yes, you'll be going to classes at the U of A, but there are going to be so many other things that you'll need to do in the meantime, like maintaining your fitness.
And what's great too about the campus rec is that they offer a variety of classes. So just going to the campus rec, using those machines, all those pieces you see in the green brackets at the top, that's all built into your membership. Within the orange bracket are some kind of extras that you can pay an additional fee to take a cooking class or go to a yoga class, things like that. They also do different adventures and trips, so if you wanted to go whitewater rafting in the Grand Canyon or go bouldering, things like that. So a lot of great opportunities, and it's a great way to meet other people as well, to get outdoors and enjoy the Sonoran Desert in the state of Arizona.
So the University of Arizona has over 600 different clubs, and these clubs are going to be academically based clubs, social based clubs, interest based, intramural sports, club sports, lots of things going on. Even student government is housed within this portion of the University of Arizona. And at the U of A, I was a president of a fairly large club. Our membership was around 250 students each semester, and it was a really great experience for me because I was able to gain leadership experience without having to go out of state and without having to go out of country, and be able to manage something like the meetings that we're going to be doing, the social events, community service events. I oversaw all of those things. So I took that experience with me when I was interviewing for my jobs after I graduated, and that was a great assistance to me in being ready for the real world after I had graduated. A really great example of an academic-based club at the U of A is called PAIN, Professional Achievements in Nursing. This is a club dedicated to helping pre-nursing students get into nursing school and be ready to go as a nurse. And with that club, they do a lot of community service. They will have guest speakers every week. So they will have nurses of all kinds come in. They have NICU nurses, they have Army nurses come in. We have ROTC for all 4 branches of the military at the University of Arizona. So those individual branches will come and visit that club to talk to them about the opportunities they would have if they were to join ROTC. So if that's something you're interested in as well, even outside of nursing, the ROTC programs are really an amazing opportunity for you to take advantage of, so you can have officer status when you're going into the military.
So I'm just looking at some of the pictures that you guys see here in our presentation. You can see the Pride of Arizona, our marching band. We have a phenomenal marching band. U of A, we are Pac-12 Division I sports, so we're as big as college sports get on the West Coast, and our Pride of Arizona is equally as loud and in charge as our sporting events. And so with the Pride of Arizona, you sometimes have the opportunity to travel with the teams. They're an alternative marching band, so they play really fun music like Radiohead, Muse, ABBA, so a great opportunity to continue playing an instrument and, again, meet new people at the U of A. We also have a picture of our wheelchair basketball team that you guys can see. We have a variety of club and intramural teams that students can participate in. So I mentioned we're Pac-12 Division I, and that can be difficult to get on a Pac-12 team. So if you don't make the Pac-12 sports, you can still be involved and still be an athlete at the U of A by getting involved in a club or intramural team. And with our clubs and intramural sports, we've got a lot more variety in terms of, indoor sports, outdoor sports, co-ed, things like that. So lots of options when it comes to continuing to be an athlete. Something else I wanted to touch on just in terms of clubs and organizations is Greek life at the U of A. So U of A has a variety of different chapters in terms of sororities and fraternities. We still have a traditional setup in that some of our chapters still have the traditional houses located on campus. So that's something that's really neat. If you're looking for that traditional college vibe, if you're interested in a fraternity or sorority, we do have different chapter houses located on campus.
And a natural transition from being involved with all your friends on campus through clubs and organizations, living on campus is something that's really important to our students. So most of our incoming freshmen every year choose to live on campus. It's always between 70 to 80% every year. And with that being said, students who live on campus overall have a better experience and are just more invested in their U of A experience. They're more likely to come back their second year. It's much easier for them to show up to those 7 p.m. study sessions for physiology, and they just have a better connection with campus because you're right there in the middle of everything. So say you meet a roommate that's from Arizona and you're from South Carolina, you get to share your family stories and your life experiences with someone that you've never met before. And I know it can seem scary to some people, but it's a really great experience, and I wouldn't give that up for anything.
Definitely. And when you're thinking about where you live, especially if you're coming from outside of the state of Arizona, chances are you don't know Tucson too well. And so it's a great opportunity to get to know the U of A, get to know the community of Tucson, and meet other people. And you can't beat when you have an 8 a.m. class, being able to roll out of bed, wear your PJs to class, and take a 5-minute walk and be in your seat ready to go for class is really nice. It also makes it nice because your schedule in college is a lot different than it is in high school. So you might have an 8 a.m. class and then a big break in the middle of your day, and you don't have another class until 3 in the afternoon. So when you live on campus, you can just walk back to your dorm room, take a nap, get ready, go to the campus rec, meet up with friends, study in our libraries, get tutoring support from the free tutoring center on campus. So it just really makes it convenient for you as a college student, not having to worry about commuting or how you're going to get to and from campus. So in your dorm room, we provide basic amenities. So you'll see your bed, a desk with a chair, a closet or wardrobe space, dresser, trash can and recycling bin. all the basic things that you'll need to keep you comfortable. Also, our dorm rooms, they are all connected to the internet, so Wi-Fi is available, but there's also wired internet if you wanted a more secure line. Electricity, gas, water, all built into the fees that you pay for your dorm room. Also within the rooms there is a basic cable TV package. If you wanted to expand that, there is an option to do that as well.
And then what's in your hall? So outside of your room, we have lots of different amenities for you to take advantage of. All of the halls are secured, so you'll have to take your CAT card and swipe it to enter any of the buildings, which is really great if anyone is concerned about safety or any of those aspects. Every dorm will have study rooms. Many of them will have recreation areas, so they'll have foosball tables, some have pool tables. Babcock has a swimming pool. You'll have a staff desk, front desk, where they'll handle your mail, so you can go and pick up your mail there. They have a checkout at that desk too, so if you need a vacuum or pots and pans, if you're going to be cooking in the kitchen, there is a kitchen provided at every hall too, and it's not what you would think about necessarily if you're used to East Coast setups with dorms. Because the U of A has such great weather, you can go walk almost any day to go get your food. So what we provide is a kitchen where you can design your own meal. So if you are a person that wants to bring some of the good food that you have in Louisiana to the University of Arizona, you can plan a night with your friends and cook a meal together. So you have lots of freedom that way. Ice and vending machines. Everyone has to do laundry when you go to college. And with the laundry, you will pay coin to do your laundry, but we will text you when your washer or dryer is finished with your laundry. So that saves a lot of roommate relationships over the school year, is having that text messaging system for our laundry facilities. And we have bike racks, so if you do have the bike, you can lock it up right there as well.
So you guys can see on the slide here, there's an image of the CAT card that Chelsea mentioned. So your CAT card is how you will get into your dorm room, but it's also your student ID. So you use it for a lot of different things on campus. Really handy card to have to keep your dorm secure, but also for you as a student at the U of A. Also, something that is in your hall that isn't described on this slide is something we have called the Faculty Fellows Program. So all of our residence halls have a faculty member designated to that hall. What that means is a faculty member from campus will come and visit your hall on a regular basis. This is a really great opportunity for students to just chat with someone who is a professional at the U of A, who is essentially an academic celebrity in their field, ask them questions. And it can be as simple as, how do I print in the library, to, will you write me a reference letter? We've had some really great relationships forged within the Faculty Fellows Program because it's just an additional support that comes to you where you live and stay at the U of A and is there to answer questions, be a support, and really serve you as a student on our campus. All right, so let's get to what's really important, food. I am a huge foodie, so I loved the Student Union at the U of A. The Student Union is a large building on campus, and it is definitely a central hub of activity, probably because it is home to our 35+ eateries available to you on campus. So we have a little bit of everything when it comes to eating and dining at the U of A. We have fast food options like Papa John's or Burger King, but we also have healthier options like Core or IQ Fresh, where you can grab a salad or a wrap. We have sushi, we have pancakes, we have really anything you can think of on campus, and many of those places are located within the Student Union. So definitely a great place. If you ever visit campus, you definitely have to stop by the Student Union, check it out, grab lunch, and get a feel for what student life is like at the U of A. A little bit more about the Student Union. Beyond our great food options, it's also home to hundreds of different activities, centers, events, programs, and more. So a few of the things you'll find within our Student Union includes the U of A bookstore. So this is where you can pick up U of A gear, grab a t-shirt or a hat with the big block A on it to show your support for your school. It's where you can purchase your books, a laptop, you name it. It's got a lot of great resources within the U of A bookstore. Also, it's home to different centers that support students on campus. So our VET Center, our LGBTQ Center on campus, our Career Services Center on campus is also located in the Student Union. These are all places that are there to support all students on campus. And so, like I said, it's home to a lot of activity.
And then on the flip side of some of the centers, there's also additional places for you to unwind and socialize too. So if you're not going to be socializing in any of the centers that are located in the Student Union, a really great place, my favorite place to go, was the Cellar's Game Room. So the Cellar is a basement level restaurant, and across from the restaurant, it has different games for you to play. So they have pool, they host poker nights, there's arcade games, so everything, including Dance Dance Revolution, is down there. So it's a really fun place, and that is actually open after hours too. So that's a really great place for students to go if you don't want to go off campus in the evening to, go out and socialize or go to a movie that way. You can actually go to a free movie in the Student Union. It's a really great opportunities for you guys to grow professionally and personally. We have the largest student-run carnival in the United States with over 35,000 guests that attended last year, and that's actually hosted right outside the Student Union across our mall. So it's a really great way to just stay connected. You have no excuse not to be connected when you come to the U of A. There's just hundreds of things for you to do and get involved in. Additionally, we have a really rich culture at the U of A. We have over 120 different countries represented on our campus. All 50 states are represented on our campus. So we have 4 cultural centers that are run through the Student Academic Affairs. And with that, it's a really great place for students to go and hang out. Again, make great food. It's all about the food, it seems like, when you go to college. You will not starve when you go to college. And it's a really great place to get additional academic support too. So they have mentors within all of those centers. You can research different things that you're interested in. It's a really great place to get a student job on campus. You can get, your part-time pay while you're on college campus as well. So it's a really great opportunity for you guys to feel connected to your home when you are away from home. The Honors College. So the U of A does offer an Honors College option for students. It is not limited to any major, so you can be absolutely any of the 120 plus undergraduate options and also be an honors student. And the best part about the honors experience at the University of Arizona specifically is that you get the experience of an honors college that you would expect. So more personalized attention, smaller class sizes, honors dorms, for example, that you can be a part of, but you don't have to give up what the greater University of Arizona has to offer. So in terms of research, study abroad, all of those opportunities, you don't give those things up to be a part of an honors college. Some of the benefits that you have as an honors student is that my favorite benefit would be, if I got to pick one, would be priority registration. So that means when you're a freshman, you'll get your freshman schedule, but from there on out, you get to register with junior level class members, and then from there, your priority registration goes up with each year. So you get to register for your classes sooner. And this is a really important benefit for our students because our honor students oftentimes are double majoring, some are triple majoring, and with those restrictions you have with how many hours in the day you need to complete your coursework, you need to have careful planning with the courses and how you line those things up over the 4 years that you're going to the U of A. With the Honors College, you'll have additional academic advising resources. You have additional research opportunities afforded to you. You have additional study abroad opportunities available to you as well. And then you have professional development opportunities in terms of meeting with your professors. So you're talking about that faculty fellows experience. You have that additionally with the Honors College too. It's a really wonderful atmosphere to go to college within. And if it's something that you may be interested in, U of A has many avenues for you to become an honor student if that is your ultimate goal. So this is our freshman profile from 2013 for incoming students that were admitted into the Honors College. So students who are starting as freshmen in the Honors College, gives you an idea of where they are at and what they accomplished while they were in high school. If you don't get automatically admitted into the Honors College, during the January semester, we do a freshman review, so we'll ask for more information from you, and then say you want to go to college and you are unsure if you want to join honors because that sounds a little intimidating for you at first. What you can do is simply come to the U of A, complete 1 semester as a full-time student, which means at least 12 credits, and if you have achieved a 3.5 GPA in college at that level, you can then again go to the Honors College and then self-select to join the Honors College. So there's several avenues and several ways for you to get involved with the Honors College. And our lights turned off.
1 minute.
There we go.
We're back.
And we're back. We weren't moving around enough in our room.
We might have to do that again in a little bit. Okay, so with that nice transition, thank you, Lights, I'll share more about the U of A's SALT Center. So SALT stands for Strategic Alternative Learning Techniques, and it is a one-of-a-kind center on the U of A's campus. So SALT provides academic support to students with learning or attention differences. So students who maybe have ADD, ADHD, or a learning disability, the resources available at the SALT Center are world-renowned. So we are the most comprehensive center in the United States for students with learning or attention differences. And so what makes our center and this program so unique and great are the variety of services that students have available to them when they are a part of the SALT Center. So students who are a part of SALT have an individualized learning plan. This is a plan that is really driven by you as a student, where you talk about your goals, where you struggle, where you're strong, and really develop a plan for the upcoming year so that you go in prepared and ready. Students will develop the individualized learning plan with their learning specialist. And so learning specialists are experts in their field. They are there really to support you as a student. So again, they'll look at where are your strengths, where are your struggles, and how can they best support you to be successful and achieve that college degree. So learning specialists really become like a second parent to many students because they get to meet with them on a regular basis, really become someone that people rely on when they're at the U of A because they know all of the inside scoop. They've got a lot of great support for you as a student and are really just there to support you in all that you do on campus. Also in the SALT Center, students have access to tutoring. So our tutors are top-notch tutors within the SALT Center. They are all certified through the College and Reading Learning Association. So they are really trained in how to teach you material. So they're not just going to tell you, oh, this isn't good, rewrite it. They're going to help you and provide you with tools that will make you a better writer. So really what's neat about SALT is that it provides you tools and skills that will help you once you graduate, when you're even looking into your career field. They really provide a lot of great resources. SALT Center is an actual building on campus, so you're free to go there, study. It's where you'll meet with a learning specialist, where you can go get those tutoring services. Within the SALT Center itself, there is assistive technology, so different technologies where you can have your textbook read to you, where you can dictate your paper, speech-to-text programs, things like that. So a lot of great resources to help you in how you learn best and so that you can be successful in your courses. We really, at the U of A, appreciate and understand that not all students learn the same. And so that's what the SALT Center is really about, is providing that support to students with learning or attention differences. SALT Center, it is a fee-based program, and there is an additional application. So students would have to apply to the U of A and then apply to SALT. If anybody has questions, feel free to contact me. My name, again, is Emily Weaver, and I'll give you my email address now. It's ejr@email.arizona.edu. So if you have questions about SALT, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm happy to help out. All right, so Chelsea and I have talked a lot about all of the great resources at U of A, how you can get involved, the Honors College, the SALT Center, where to eat on campus. But at the end of the day, what you guys as students are probably focused on and thinking about is your degree. And what am I going to study, your passion, what you plan on pursuing in college. At the U of A, we have over 300 undergraduate and graduate degree options. So lots of choices for you guys as students. I think that's something that really sets us apart as a university, is how well-rounded we are in terms of what we offer on campus. Degree Search, the slide you guys see now, is a wonderful online tool. It's degreesearch.arizona.edu. And with Degree Search, you can start exploring our undergraduate degree options. So you can search by the degree itself. If you know you want to be a biomedical engineer, wonderful. Go ahead and search that up and learn more about that degree program. If maybe you're still deciding what you want to do, you know you want to do something in the College of Science but aren't sure quite what, you can search by a specific college on campus and see the different degrees offered there. If you're maybe debating between two different degrees, you can compare them side by side and see how they are different at the U of A. So lots of great resources within Degree Search. Once you click on a degree, it will tell you a little blurb about what it means to be an education major at the U of A. You can also click on a tab to see a 4-year plan, see the types of classes you're taking, and that can be really helpful to students in determining what's going to be a good fit for you in your next 4 years. You can also see what you can do with that degree in terms of career planning. So it will provide what types of jobs we've seen students get with this degree in the past. What is the starting salary for someone with a degree, in journalism, things like that. So it's a really wonderful tool. For any of you who are Arizona residents, there's also a transfer tab where you can learn more about community college credits within the Arizona system and how they transfer to the U of A. So again, a really great resource. So Chelsea and I want to share just some highlights about some of our colleges and degree options on campus. We'll go ahead and get started. This is just a few of the options at U of A, so by no means is this all of them. We just wanted to highlight several of the different options available to students on campus.
And why not start with a really adorable baby horse? The University of Arizona's first college was the College of Agriculture. And with that, if we have any students that are with us today that are interested in becoming a veterinarian or interested in animal sciences or, let's see, what else? Agriculture really is beyond animals, of course. But if you're interested in any of those types of things, because we have the science base behind the University of Arizona, it's a really great and natural transition for you to do research at the U of A while you're pursuing a veterinary science bachelor's degree. At the U of A, our agriculture college, it actually houses two different components. It houses agriculture, so in terms of animal sciences, farming, all of those sorts of things, and also life sciences. And I was part of the life sciences portion of the college, and with that, it houses things like retail and consumer sciences, which has partnerships with Kohl's and Macy's and all of those sorts of things. Family studies, it houses nutrition, and nutrition is a really great place to have that major house, because with the agriculture portion of farming and sustainability, you need to understand all of the nutrition of those different things that you're going to be studying. So if you're studying soybeans, for example, and how do you make the soybean have the most nutrition possible within that one crop, how are you going to make that happen? So it's a really diverse college, and it's a major industry for students to break into. So if you're coming from an area where agriculture is a big part of your state economy, the U of A may be a good option for you if that's what you would like to study. Architecture is really great at the U of A too. It is going to focus on both landscape architecture and then, of course, structure. So the buildings that you walk into every single day, an architecture had a hand in that building. And additionally, when you're walking around your city, you see landscaping around major, say, city buildings, or even highways. When you're driving on the highway, you see landscaping. That's going to be an architecture that's going to have his or her hand in on that project. And with architecture at the U of A, it's really a collaborative environment. You can see from the picture there, they have a lot of space that's just open, not even classroom space, just open space where they go around and they put up their projects and critique each other and share their ideas and brainstorm. And within the College of Architecture, they actually have a space where you can test your models. So say if you live in an area where you deal with hurricane winds or you deal with tornado sort of winds, you have an actual tunnel where you put your work in there and you test your structure against that. There's another light box that you have too, so you can put your building that you're constructing or planning on constructing into the light box, and you can decide where you would like to place your windows based on where the sun is going to rise and where the sun's going to set. So it's very much hands-on right from the beginning, and it's really about blending art and the science behind constructing a beautiful building. Business. So business is a really large industry for the United States in general, and Eller College of Management is a really wonderfully recognized, has a national brand And with that, many of our programs are going to be top-notch. One of my favorite examples is the Management Information Systems program. It's #2 in the country. It's not something that students necessarily think about right away. They may think about accounting, finance, all of those sorts of things, but there's many things beyond just accounting and finance that are offered at the U of A that you can get your hands dirty and take advantage of. We've had students go on to Shark Tank and have their businesses picked up by Shark Tank and really launch on from there. So if you would like to Google it, it's called BestoBox, and that is a really great example of something that a U of A student did just last year.
All right, so another great college on our campus is the College of Education. This is the school that I graduated out of. Like the name, this college is dedicated to those who want to work with students. So we have your traditional teaching degree options like elementary education, early childhood education, special education, but then we also have non-teaching degree options. So we have a deaf studies program within the College of Education. So if you are interested in becoming an interpreter or working at a school for the deaf and blind, it's got great training right there on our campus. We also have a rehabilitation counseling program within the College of Education. So just a lot of great things going on within that college. Fun fact about the College of Education is that the creator of Sesame Street actually graduated from U of A's College of Ed. So again, we've got great alumni who have graduated with a degree from U of A in education. College of Fine Arts, phenomenal college on the U of A campus. We've got a variety of different degree options within the College of Fine Arts. So we have the School of Music, the School of Dance, the School of Film and Television, and the School of Art. Within all of those schools are a variety of different degree options, areas that you can really focus in and emphasize in. What I really like about the College of Fine Arts at U of A is, let's say you are a School of Art student and your focus is painting. Even though you're a painting student, you'll still have to get a firm foundation in, three-dimensional art, drawing, photography, and so you become really well-rounded in your field. The same goes with, musical theater. You have to know how to do the light board, the sound board, the set, so you really become well-rounded in your field. Because more and more, as you guys know, you have to be able to do it all. And so our College of Fine Arts really provides students those supports to be well-rounded in their field. The image you guys see on the screen is our dance building on campus. So this is where our dancers are housed. Beautiful space, beautiful stage for them to perform on. Our dance program is nationally ranked top 10 in the nation. Beyond dance, musical theater, photography are also highly ranked. And so the beauty of the College of Fine Arts at the U of A is you have that conservatory experience of you are in depth in your field of art and being creative, but you also have a Pac-12 university, a research extensive university, and so if you wanted to double major in, dance and science, you could do that. If you wanted to get a minor in business or, triple major even, you've got a lot of possibilities on our campus. And so that's what I think really makes it unique is you have the rigor and the intensity of a conservatory environment in terms of that fine arts piece, but all of the resources and availability of, a big university that is the U of A. College of Engineering, another great college on our campus. What I really like about the College of Engineering is the size. So it's a smaller college on our campus, which means students really get to know their faculty and they get to know one another as peers. And so we have 13 different engineering degrees. We have 35 different club opportunities that are specific to the engineering field. So our engineers are highly involved on campus. They're not just in a lab or in a classroom, they're out and they're engaged and they're really implementing the work that they're learning in the classroom, which is pretty neat.
And with humanities students, it's all about the world's languages, cultures, and literatures. And these students especially take advantage of the large opportunities that we have for study abroad. So this is a student who is in, yes, Paris, and she's enjoying some of the delicious food there while she's studying French. So if this is something that interests you, if you want to be fluent in Russian, if you want to dedicate an entire major to Russian, you can. And it's a really great opportunity for you guys to study, beyond just the United States. You can study on a national level. Pre-health. So I would bet many of you, or a fair portion of you, would be interested in something within the pre-health realm. The University of Arizona actually has 2 colleges of medicine available to students to apply to. So at the U of A, if you're interested in medicine specifically, it's a really great opportunity. But within the pre-health portion of the University of Arizona's option for studies, you can prepare yourself for medicine, you can prepare yourself for dentistry, physician's assistants, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and you can be any major at the U of A while you're doing this. So if you are already a science-minded individual, it would make a lot of sense for you to pursue a degree in physiology, for example, or biology, or neuroscience while you're preparing for those science degrees. But we have many students at the U of A that will major in, say, creative writing. We had a student a few years ago that majored in creative writing, who was in the Honors College, and this student wrote a childhood book about childhood diabetes, a children's book, and they use that as part of their medical school application process. They had that book, and that's something that they did because they thought it was really important to educate children, educate families, and start with those health-focused education pieces right from the beginning. And luckily, we nabbed that student up and kept them at our College of Medicine. But truly, to be a pre-health student, you could be absolutely any major. So as Emily said, if you are going to be in the fine arts, nothing's going to stop you from being able to be moving on to a graduate level program like medicine, or going to a dental school, or going to a graduate school for physical therapy. You can do it at the U of A. And the reason why you can do it at the U of A within any major is because we have a minor that is called pre-health. And that is going to allow you to have an additional academic advisor that will sit down and talk to you about what are your goals. Are you thinking about just medical school, or are you thinking about several graduate options within the health realm? And if that's true, you'll be able to make sure that you're taking all the courses you need for all of the universities that you'll be applying to their graduate level programs for. And we have many students that will stay in state, we have many students that will go out of state, but all of our pre-health students are very successful, and they find a passion within pre-health, whether their dream was initially to be a doctor, or if they switch up that dream and they go into a nursing program. Pre-health is a really well-supported program because of our big science powerhouse of a school we have and all the research opportunities that we have, and pre-health is wonderful. And like I mentioned at the very beginning of the presentation, we have a Trauma One hospital right as part of our campus, and to think about the opportunities you would have in terms of shadowing doctors, shadowing nurses, getting a part-time job within the hospital, it's a really great opportunity for you if you are thinking of becoming a pre-health student. And connected to pre-health, nursing is its own college, and it's actually in the top 4% for the graduate nursing program. So if you wanted to get a master's degree in nursing, or if you wanted to become a nurse practitioner eventually, we have a really great setup for that. You can see nursing students right now working on simulation infant dummies, and we do have simulation nurses on the campus for nursing students, and of course medical students and other health-related students on campus. And with that, we even have simulation dummies that give birth. You can hear the chest sound, so if someone has crackles in their chest, you can feel their pulses. They tell you what hurts. It's a really awesome program, and it's something that you can have access to even before you get into the nursing college. So that's why I mentioned PAIN. It's a really great club. They actually will do tours for the current PAIN members, and you can go up and see those dummies and work with them, and it's part of their class assignments when they do their Chemistry 101A course as well. So when they're doing their chemistry intro courses, they'll be already getting exposure to science technology like the simulation dummies. And then public health. This is a really great college. It was actually the first college of public health in the Rocky Mountain region, and is the only one in the state of Arizona. And public health takes a step back. So it takes a step back to the community level. So see what her hands are digging in? It's in a box that says biohazard on it. These students care about big issues. So think about academics, swine flu, think about zombie apocalypse. Students care about these type of issues when they're going to be studying in public health. And students in public health, they go to medical school, they work for the government, they work for federal government, they work for state agencies. They're all about working with the community and helping on a larger scale in terms of health.
All right, so Chelsea's already touched on a little bit of this, but our College of Science truly is a powerhouse on the U of A campus and within the nation. So we have 8 U of A science disciplines that are in the top 20. And when I say science, I mean a little bit of everything. So we have life science, earth science, mathematics and computational science. We have neural, cognitive, and behavioral science on campus, physics and space science. So that's really everything in terms of the science scope. Going back to that research slide, many of those research dollars are put into the science field on the U of A campus. So, we have the public medical school right there on campus. We have top-notch research labs available to students on campus. On our campus is Bio5, which is a research collaborative that combines things like agriculture, education, science together, where you can work with researchers in a more collaborative setting and environment. So our College of Science really is phenomenal, and students have a wealth of opportunities to get involved in the field so that you aren't just sitting in a class and learning about different atoms or cells. You're in the lab working with those things. So it's a really great college on our campus, and definitely a big draw at the U of A. Our College of Social and Behavioral Science is home to numerous degrees on the U of A campus. And social behavioral science, it's really the focus of understanding, human beings, the groups they form, and how that affects our communities, our society, and our cultures. And so within the College of Social and Behavioral Science, we have degrees like criminal justice, journalism, history. A new degree within the College of Social and Behavioral Science is our law degree. So this is a bachelor's degree in law, first of its kind in the nation. So we're really excited to have that join the College of Social and Behavioral Science. We also have some neat degrees like e-society, which focuses on things like the internet and Facebook and how they have become such an integral part to our society and how that impacts us as human beings, as people groups, things like that. So really great college on campus with, again, a lot of great opportunities to study abroad, to work with a professor on different research design projects, things like that.
So we shared so many things about what we have to offer on our campus, what resources we have to our students to be successful, all of the different majors, well, some of the different majors that you're able to apply to. And all those things are great, but you'll never get to experience those things unless you're able to apply. So for the students who are going to be applying for fall 2015, application's not open yet. It will be open August 1st. So once August 1st hits, you'll be able to log in online and submit your U of A application. And the U of A application is actually a 3-in-1 application. And what that means is that at the U of A, we will consider you for admission to the major that you're interested in, the honors college if you apply to that portion, and we also will consider you for merit-based scholarships. And to be considered for all 3 of those things at once, you'll want to submit an SAT or an ACT test score to us when you do apply. And with a complete application, you will need to submit your application online, give us your high school transcripts. Those will be 6-semester transcripts. So all your grades from freshman year until you finish your junior year, that's what we'll need to have to start evaluating you for your GPA and your grades and those sorts of things. We do have an application fee associated with our application. In-state Arizona students, that is a $50 fee. Out-of-state students, that's going to be a $65 fee. And again, test scores. This is not something that's required. So if you're not interested in the merit-based scholarships or not interested in the honors college, you can apply without giving us test scores. Do you have to have your test scores at the time you apply? You do not. So you can apply August 1st and submit your test scores to us by May 1st of the following year. So you have your entire senior year to give us test scores. It's a better idea to give us your first test score results because we will always accept new test scores from you. So if you have SAT or ACT test scores, we'll accept either one of those scores. We do not have a preference for either score, and we'll accept multiple scores from you. So if you are really trying to get a merit-based scholarship and you are going to be studying because you know you're going to be retesting for the ACT in December, for example, during your senior year, you can do that with the U of A because we'll allow you to send us a new score and we'll reevaluate you for admission. So like I said, application will open up August 1st for all of you as students. The typical turnaround is 6 to 8 weeks, but we do have a Wildcat Promise timeline for you. So all the students who apply between August 1st and October 15th, you'll see this at the bottom right-hand portion of your screen, you will have your decision by November 5th. So what we'll do is we'll do a big release of our first decisions on a national and international level to all of our students that applied within that first time range. And then from there on, we'll have a 6 to 8 week turnaround. But we do have a second Wildcat Promise timeline, and that is if you apply between the October 15th date and November 5th, you'll be able to get your decisions again by December 3rd. And if you're thinking about applying to several colleges across the nation, that's a pretty quick timeline for finding out your decision when you're comparing it to other universities. So with the U of A, we want to be one of those schools that gets back to you in a timely manner. So make sure that you're within those timelines. And then if you have questions, we're always here. We're even online for you guys now as well. So you can always ask questions if you're wondering about the timeline or what those required pieces of information are for our application.
All right, so Chelsea's shared more about our application and the application process. I'm going to talk more about what we're really looking for when we get all of those materials from you guys as students. So the U of A, we utilize a comprehensive review. And a lot like the name, it is comprehensive. So we look at a little bit of everything. You guys can see here on the slide the different pieces that we consider when making a decision about a student and their admission to U of A. So we consider unweighted GPA, the rigor of your coursework. So did you challenge yourself in honors classes, AP classes, advanced coursework, community college coursework? We look at how you were involved. So did you work? Did you get involved in a different club or activity on campus? Were you involved in sports? We also look at your performance in the 16 core courses. So the 16 core classes, those are those key classes that you guys think of and many schools are going to require when you're applying to college. So things like 4 years of math, 4 years of English, 3 years of a lab science, 2 years of a foreign language, 1 year of a fine art. So really those key classes that are really necessary to do well at the college level. As I mentioned earlier, we look at work experience, so did you work part-time? And that could even include I took care of my younger brother or younger sister in the afternoons while my parent was working, things like that. Test scores, if you send them, we will consider them as a part of our review. Like Chelsea mentioned, they are not required, but certainly if you're hoping to be considered for honors or any of our merit scholarships, we hope that you send us an SAT or ACT score. Also within our application, we have an optional personal statement. And this is really your guys' opportunity to share with us something that you feel like maybe wasn't included in the application. So U of A's application, we ask a lot of questions because we really want to get to know you. We really value the work that you have put in throughout your high school career. So if you go through that application and you feel like, you know, I think they need to know that I moved my sophomore year. And that was a really tough transition for me, and it shows on my transcript and in my grades. Tell us that in the personal statement. We are people, and we understand that you guys are people too, and that life happens. And so the personal statement's a really great opportunity to just give us that extra piece of information that can help us put the pieces together in terms of looking at your application materials. Other things that you could include, you know, if you have a learning or attention difference, share that in the personal statement. If you have been a diehard U of A fan since you were 3 years old, share that in the personal statement. It just helps us get a better idea of who you are as an individual. And it really is optional. So 100% optional. It will not hurt you if you don't share anything within the personal statement. But I always encourage students, if you go through the application and you feel like, I think the U of A admissions team, they should know this about me, about my academic experience, things like that. But we really do value all of the work that you've done throughout high school, and we understand that personal excellence, it can and it should be evaluated by more than just academic achievement. We're looking to build a well-rounded class on our campus. So we want students who are talented in different pieces. We want students who come from all over the country, all over the world, because that helps you guys when you come to campus to learn from other people and to grow together at the U of A.
And we really want you to visit. So if you are able to visit, we have several different visit options for you. You're using one of the resources right now, which is wonderful. We're so glad that you are interested in the U of A. And if you're able to come out to Arizona, the most commonly used tour is called the Ambassador Tour, and it's actually a student-run tour. So it's a current U of A student on campus volunteering their time to walk you around campus and share some information about themselves. You can ask them, where do you like to eat? What do you do besides class? What do you study? And it's a really great way to get a sneak peek about what it's like to be a U of A student. This is the most versatile option as well. It's Monday through Saturday, twice a day, so it happens all throughout the year. So even if you're going to be doing it over a spring break or something, we'll be around.
We also have a great option to visit campus called ClassCats. ClassCats is an opportunity for you to shadow a student in an area of your interest. So if you are thinking about doing creative writing and you want to see what a class is like at the U of A, you can shadow a creative writing student. And that's really neat because you get to see the class experience and the professors and what it's like, but you also have that opportunity to chat with a student after class and say, why did you pick the U of A? What other schools were you considering? What sets U of A apart? Things like that. So I really like the ClassCats option because of how personal it can be. Since it is organizing schedules, you'll want to be sure to let us know that you're interested in a ClassCats visit experience as soon as possible and with a lot of time so that we can get you set up with a student in an area of your interest.
And then another way to visit is called the Arizona Experience, and it is a full-day conference-like program where you'll get a master agenda and you can pick and choose from different sessions that are of your interest. So if you really want to learn about meal plans, you can learn about meal plans. If you want to take advantage of the residence hall tours during that day, you can take advantage of that. You get to meet with your college that you're interested in joining as a freshman student, and lunch is on us. So if you would like to do that full day experience, again, those dates will be published for you guys soon on our MyUA website, and that's going to be something that you guys will be able to take advantage of at the U of A. And we want you to stay social too. So we're connected. We know that you are all connected, and we have everything that you guys have. So if you are on Instagram, guess what? Right there is a picture from our Instagram. You can stay connected with us. We do have a phone app, which is really helpful if you are not familiar with Tucson, because it will have a map of our university right there, and it will show you exactly where you are at on campus, so you can find the building that you're trying to get to as well.
All right, well, that is it for Chelsea and I on the presentation side. We're going to go to your questions now and hopefully answer some of the questions that you guys have asked throughout our presentation. So if you guys will just sit tight, we'll go ahead and look through these questions and start addressing some of them.
So our first question is concerning if you did have a difficult circumstance in your life. So Emily did address this already, but if it's true, if something happened during your 4 years at high school, or your 3 years upcoming in high school that may have affected your grades, that is what the personal statement's for, and that is a really great place for you to disclose those concerns that you may have. So if you have anything that's making you worry about applying to the U of A, let that go, because with the comprehensive review, it's a really fair evaluation. We have at least we have 2 evaluators that will go through your application materials and read through your application, so you'll be able to have a comprehensive review of your ability to come to the U of A. So if there are any type of academic concerns there, please feel free to still apply to the U of A. We want you to be a part of the U of A, and we're going to evaluate you very fairly.
All right. The next question is regarding athletics. And I believe the question is referring to if you are interested in playing on one of our Pac-12 teams. We have a great athletics website that I encourage any prospective athlete to check out, where you can see exactly what you should do for your specific sport. So if you're with football, complete the form online. If it's a different sport, you might need to contact the coach directly. But athletics and athletic recruitment, that is all done through them. And so you'll want to contact athletics directly if you're interested in playing for one of our Pac-12 teams. Okay, going through these questions here.
The next question is about the Eller College and what sets us apart from other business schools from around the country. And I would say the way that it's structured at the U of A is that no matter what interest you have, say you're interested into accounting, you're interested in accounting, and you want to be an accountant. When you come to the U of A, you're going to be a pre-business student first, and you're going to do your prerequisite courses and apply into your major. And the important reason why the U of A has that structure with our business school is that when you go out into the world and you're applying to those jobs, you will need to have interviewing skills, you'll need to have resume skills, cover letter, and writing ability, and you have to have the even simple things like what to wear when you go into those interviews. And that's something that we build with our students those first 2 years before they're allowed to start their actual major study. So with U of A, it's really important for us to not only prepare you for those professional aspects of being a business major, but also have you be able to explore the college as a whole. Because if you come in thinking accounting and then you end up changing your mind and you want to be a different area of study, so if you would like to go to MIS, for example, or business administration, you'll be able to do those things and not be locked into one option. You're a pre-business student. We want you to be that way because we want you to make the best educated decision when you're applying into your actual major your sophomore year.
All right. The next question is about our baseball facilities, High Corbett Field. Our baseball team, fun fact, they were the national champions a few years ago. So High Corbett Field, it's about 10 minutes away from campus.
Yeah, it's not too far.
Yep. Okay. So one question is about, getting a job after you graduate, and the question is specifically about, getting a job in Tucson. And I want to stress that, many graduates, they'll find jobs in Tucson, but as Chelsea has mentioned, we have students coming to the U of A from all over the world. And so they're not staying in Tucson when they graduate for the most part because it is a college town. They're going, maybe back home or back to their communities, or they're going somewhere totally different because they had a great internship opportunity, or maybe they made connections when they studied abroad. And so on our campus, we have a phenomenal career services center that really supports students in meeting their goals. So if your goal is to, go back to Minnesota and work in your home community, great, they can assist you with that. If your goal is to work in a different country or to stay local in Arizona or Tucson, they can help support you in how to best seek out jobs, find connections, things like that. So while the U of A is in Tucson, we find that many of our graduates, they head out of Tucson upon graduation, and that's exciting to us because we have a huge alumni network all across the country. I mean, anywhere you go, if you're in an airport and you're wearing a Block A hat, you'll see another Wildcat and say bear down to each other. So it's really fun to have that connection wherever you go. So definitely options outside of Tucson in terms of finding jobs and finding opportunities upon graduation.
Do we have any advice for out-of-state students? For me, I would say, because I am not an out-of-state student, that it would be really important for you to find out who your recruiter is through our Who's Your Recruiter portion of the website. So if you were to go to the Arizona website, it's just arizona.edu, and there's a tab called Future Students. From there, you'll be able to find out who your recruiter is, and that will be your primary contact throughout your entire senior year. So if you do have a really specific question about your GPA and you have concerns that way, you would want to connect with that person, because they are either based out of the Tucson office, we do have a Phoenix office, or they're going to be based somewhat close to your area as well. So we do have regional recruiters that are throughout the United States.
The next question is about transportation and just public transportation. So our campus, it's 1 square mile. Anything you need regarding to academics or student life is going to be within walking distance. So you can walk, ride a bike, skateboard, get to and from on your own when you're on campus. Around campus, we have a lot of different attractions, restaurants, shopping, and those are easily accessible through a variety of different ways. So we have the Caltran, which travels around campus, usually does like the perimeter of campus. We also have the Tucson streetcar, which is brand new. So it travels through campus, connects students to downtown Tucson, where there's a lot of, fun places to check out. Different concerts will be held in downtown Tucson, things like that. So that can connect students from campus to downtown. It also runs through 4th Avenue. 4th Avenue is definitely a popular place for students at the U of A. Again, it's just got a lot of fun places to hang out, to meet up with friends, different bookstores, places to eat, things like that. So that runs through the 4th Avenue area as well. Outside of that system, we've got the public bus system. We also have Tucson International Airport. So lots of great ways to get to and from.
And how do you get into the U of A's Honors College? So I did mention this a little bit when I was talking about the 3-in-1 application, but what you would need to do specifically is apply to the U of A, and within that application, they'll have a check box that will say, would you like to apply to honors? You would say yes to that question and then answer an honors essay. And that's a 500-word maximum response, and you would also need to give us SAT or ACT test scores, and that is how you would apply to get into our honors program.
I'm looking for some popular questions that several people have asked. One question is, are there other campuses other than the Tucson campus? And so in terms of undergraduate degrees, right now they're all located on our Tucson campus down in Tucson. We do have some graduate level degree programs in and around the state of Arizona outside of Tucson, and we do have some online degree options, but if you're looking for that bachelor's degree, it's going to be on our campus in Tucson.
Well, this is a great question. A student asked us, let's see, what sort of GPA will I need to get in? We do not have a posted minimum GPA with the University of Arizona because of our commitment to comprehensive review. So again, if there are any students that are worrying about that portion, please don't, because we have the personal statement part of our comprehensive review, and we also will be looking at all of those other aspects that Emily discussed too. So did you work part-time? What were you involved in? And we want you to be able to apply with confidence at the U of A.
Next question is, do you have to live in a dorm? No, you do not have to live in one of our dorms on campus, but we highly, highly, highly encourage it. The majority of freshman students at U of A do choose to live on campus. And that's because of, our conversation today about how great campus is and all that it has to offer. So we definitely encourage living on campus, but you do not have to. If you do choose to live off campus, we have resources available to assist you in finding a right fit off campus.
Another question is asking about, are there clubs on campus that limit the number of members that can be a part of that club? And it really just depends on the nature of the club. So Payne is a very large club on campus, but that's just because that is the way it's structured, because there's a large population of pre-nursing students on campus. If, for say, you are part of the a cappella group on campus, that is a club option on campus. They may have a limited number of spots because that's an audition-based club that we have on campus.
Oh, it's okay. All right. So this question, I'll just read it. It says, does Greek life basically rule the school? And I would say no.
No.
While we have a prominent Greek life on campus, we have 600 plus student clubs and organizations. So Greek life is a part of that, but beyond that, we've got really anything you can think of in terms of student involvement, whether it's our student government, ROTC, Pride of Arizona. It can even be something silly like the ZIP Club, which is the Zombie Invasion Preparation Club on campus. So lots of ways to get involved. While we do have a great and strong Greek life system on campus, there are other ways to get involved at U of A too.
So a student is asking about the cost of the dorms. The best place to go see to stay updated about that is called life, life.arizona.edu. And with that, they will show you the price ranges of the dorms. They're fairly affordable. They'll be between $5,500 a year all the way up to $7,000, $8,000 for the academic year for you to live on campus as well. And we do have 12-month year-round options if you're a student that's planning on taking summer school and winter sessions. So if you're a student that would like to live on all 12 months, we are opening up options for that as well.
Okay, we've got a question about, are there any culinary programs? I plan on majoring in culinary arts. Unfortunately, we do not have a culinary arts program on campus.
Student is asking if there are any disadvantages in not being a part of the Honors College. And I would say absolutely not. If you're not every student's going to be an honors student. I was not an honors student, and that was perfectly fine from my experience. Most of our students are not going to be a part of the Honors College because it's a large state institution. We have 40,000 students on our campus, and only a fraction of those students are going to be honors enrolled students. And what's wonderful about the U of A is that we have all those resources that are open to all students. So you have study abroad, you have research, you have clubs, you have the recs are even just the small things. You have all of those opportunities for you as a U of A student.
Can you double major or even triple major with minors? Is it possible to do that with colleges that are in different areas? So definitely. I mean, I think more and more I hear about students who double, triple major, they stack up the minors. It's definitely possible. When thinking about double majoring, triple majoring, adding on those different minors to your degree, those are conversations you'll have with your academic advisor at the U of A. Academic advisors are individuals who are specific to the different colleges on campus, and they're really there to support you in achieving that degree. So they'll let you know exactly what classes you need to take, what you have left to complete your degree, and they'll also be able to share with you information about minoring. So definitely connect with your academic advisor. More and more students are double majoring. Triple majoring, you know, you'll just have to be prepared to take on that coursework and to be diligent in your studies on campus. Okay, moving right along.
Yes, dance is a real major. Simple question, but yes, our dancers go into many different areas. We have many students that are they're dancing on Broadway. They are going to get those teaching positions. They are going to New York City. They're doing different summer programs where they'll be hosted by a company so that they can train all summer long with a company out of state and then come back to the U of A to continue their studies. And again, a lot of our dancers will double major, so they will do dance and business because they are smart individuals and they know that they need to be really marketable. So maybe having that marketing as part of their repertoire of studies is really something that's going to make them stand out when they're getting a job. So someone is very interested in the racetrack industry program. Again, I want to push you to the Degree Search website. That is where it's going to give you the most detailed information and give you information directly to that program too. So if you want to be able to call them on the phone and ask them questions that way or set up a special visit, you'll be able to do that with that college.
Okay. So someone asked about music class offerings and the availability. We do have, intro classes that can fulfill, potentially a fine art for your degree. So, guitar, intro to guitar, things like that. But in terms of taking additional classes and things like that, you would need to be in that actual major or minor to take more advanced classes in that instrument. I really encourage anyone who is passionate about their instrument but maybe doesn't want to major in music or minor in music to get involved in one of our clubs on campus or different groups that we have in and around the U of A and the Tucson community. So within the U of A and Tucson, there's a really strong fine arts community, and so it's fun to get connected with them and just meet new people and maybe even meet folks who aren't necessarily students on campus.
Okay. So when did admissions begin? So your admission for fall 2015 will start August 1st. That's when you'll have the first opportunity to let us know you're interested by applying.
Someone asked, when is the best time to meet with an advisor? Great question. Once you've committed to U of A and have decided that this is the school for you, you will sign up for orientation. Orientation is a program that happens the summer just before you start on campus. And so at that program, you'll get to meet your academic advisor, sign up for classes, get to explore campus, and really learn everything that you need to be successful that first year on campus.
Let's see, moving right along. When I submit my application, do you accept AP scores of 3, or does it have to be 4 or higher? So depending on the AP exam, it's really going to affect what score we'll accept. So if you would like to have the full list, you would go to our website and you would look at our course catalog, and the course catalog would have the full list of AP exams that are possible for you to take and which scores equal what course equivalents.
All right, so unfortunately we don't have too much more time to answer all of these questions. There are some great questions here still. We're going to go to some videos about U of A and about campus to give you guys some more visuals about all that our campus has to offer. And in about 40 minutes, Hannah and Jostin will be joining you guys, and they can address some more of these questions with you. Hannah and Jostin are both recent graduates from U of A, so they're fresh out of college. They remember their U of A experiences like they were yesterday, and so they're a really great resource just to ask questions about what's it like to be a student at U of A, why did you choose U of A, and they can address some more of the questions that you guys asked. We really appreciate the time that you've spent with us, and we hope that you've enjoyed it as well and have learned more about Arizona's first university, the University of Arizona. And we look forward to working with you throughout the fall. So now we'll go ahead and cut to those videos. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bear down. It's not just about school spirit. It's about a school's soul. It's about the daily struggle to reach skyward by digging deeper than we ever thought possible. It's about real pride in the city's real people. At the University of Arizona, Bear Down is about turning challenges into opportunities, and opportunities into humanity's greatest achievements.
goes inside and jams it home with the left hand. He's fouled. And will go to the line. Connell, deep pass ahead to Gordon. And he goes over the head and dunks it home. Angle right Jefferson. Nice no-look for Gordon, and a reverse lane is good. What was going to buy 11 in the Aaron Gordon threw it out the back of an Aggie, grabbed the ball and dunked it home. They left wide open for a three, and it's good. Now Karczewski wide open, slam it home. Johnson Johnson, Nick behind the back move, stop and pop from 18 and score it.
Hey, I'm Tom Wicker. I'm a junior from Lake Tahoe, Nevada. I'm a marketing major with minors in creative writing and global business, and welcome to the University of Arizona. I think the key is once you've been here for a little while, you sort of get into a rhythm of, when it's time to work on stuff and when it's time to really go out and have fun and do kind of whatever you'd like to do. For me, it usually works out that Monday through Thursday, I'm pretty much going 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. doing school stuff and club stuff and all sorts of stuff like that. But my schedule basically Monday through Friday is I am at campus from around 8 or 9 a.m. until around between 6 and 10 p.m., but a pretty small percentage of that actually is classes. So I have 2 or 3 classes every day. Most of them are an hour and 15 minutes long. I have one creative writing workshop that's 2.5 hours long on Wednesdays, but I'm usually in class from about 9:30 to maybe noon, and then I have a couple of evening classes. Right now I'm going to my Global Business 450 class. We're going to be talking about ways that companies can expand overseas into different markets and sort of diversify whatever they're doing in different countries. So let's go on in and see what's going on. I'm in class for a few hours of that during the day, and then the others I'm at work just helping out with any of my clubs. But I usually try to stay on campus during those hours to really get homework done between classes and be at work and do anything like that. So for me, with all that stuff going on, it's really important for me to sort of maximize the time that I have and not spend a lot of time figuring out what to do. I've got a pretty solid rhythm of where to go between classes, where I'm going to grab lunch pretty quickly and where I'm going to go study after that. And you sort of find your own spots on campus where you can really understand exactly where you need to go and when to get there, and don't spend a lot of time sort of going around from place to place.
My name is Brittany Churchill. I'm with the School of Dance. Well, I started dancing when I was 3. I saw the Nutcracker with my mom and my sisters, and I said I wanted to be the Sugar Plum Fairy when I grew up. Not just the dancer, but the actual Sugar Plum Fairy. So she put me in dance classes, and I continued dancing, and I learned to absolutely love it and didn't want to give it up when I went to college. Usually I start with ballet, then moved back to modern, and then a jazz class. We have dance classes in the morning. We have academics blended in. We're taking a lot more dance classes than I did at home. Then I work, and then I go back to rehearsals to prepare for our shows. The U of A is actually one of the very few dance schools that encourages getting a second major or another minor. So I'm currently pre-business. It's been a lot. I have to take a lot of units every semester to try to get both of them together. That's definitely been a challenge since I've been at the U of A. It's important to know how much time you can commit to each thing. So if you're going to commit to student pieces or faculty pieces, you have to know how much homework or how many academics you're taking that semester. At the UA School of Dance, I'm a work study student, and I work in the office on most days. We help out the faculty with little minor projects. We give tours to students coming in to look at the school. We also help people that are just wondering about the UA School of Dance. Sometimes we get phone calls, emails. Some people show up and want a tour, so give those. We send out e-newsletters, so that's helped me with my marketing. It's combining both, and I can see how that's working even before I get into the marketing major. I really like how marketing and dance are actually a unit. You can use both together. So I really like the creative side of marketing. I've designed websites and worked with photographers and putting that together. So today I'm working on my website. It's for a summer dance program that I work for in Connecticut. And they've sent me some corrections for the website and some new meta tags so that they can search it on Google. And so I use both computers so that I can see the changes have been made on the World Wide Web. We rehearse pieces from the start of the school year, so in August, and sometimes those pieces aren't performed until the next semester. So those rehearsals are really detail-oriented. Sometimes they're big casts, 30 people in a room, and sometimes they're small, maybe 3 or 4. Balanchine's Four Temperaments is the piece I'm doing for Premium Blend. We had a 2-week intensive with Elise Bourne, who came to teach us the proper way to do Balanchine's 4 T's. She's back again to set it on stage now. We rehearse Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. We also have techs every night starting around 6:30, and they can run up until 10 o'clock, depending on how well the techs are going. We are preparing with costumes, makeup, full dress every night, and they solve all the little problems. I'm taking 27 units this semester. That's been the biggest challenge. Taking ballet, modern, and jazz is also really hard. I think a lot of students, before they enter college, have one specific goal, either ballet, modern, or jazz. The triple track program is really tough. The students really care about the productions that they're putting up. Everyone's really professional and looking to be professionals after college, so they run this program like a little company. We do close to 60 shows a year, which is a lot of performance time and definitely something I was looking forward to.
So my name is Taylor Boyd. I'm a sophomore and I'm studying molecular and cellular biology. I approve this message. Busiest day would probably be Monday. I have math, I have geography, molecular genetics at 11, lunch with a friend, lab from 3 to 6, and then maybe EMS. So basically my day in lab, we go in there. We have a little bit of a discussion, usually take a quiz on either the last lab or the upcoming lab. Then we get all of our safety gear on and go into the lab. I love it because it's like super hands-on. It takes like what we learn in chemistry and we can like actually apply it to what we're doing right now. Okay, all set. I think labs are really interesting, they're fun. I love OChem, it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but when you're actually doing it and you see things happening before you, it's like, oh, okay, I totally understand that. Like, that makes a lot of sense now. I loved living in a dorm. You're so close to everything. Like, it sounds really bad, but I could wake up 10 minutes before my class and get there on time. I've made so many friends here. Like, we always go out to dinner. It's just a really good environment. Like, I enjoy it so much. I don't have a car here, so at first I thought it was going to be really hard to like get off campus. But I mean, I figured out the bus system. I have friends who have cars. I have a bike. Like there's so many ways if you actually put effort into like figuring it out. There's so many ways to get off campus, and there's so many like cool pieces of Tucson to explore. So it's fun. University is really fun. It's just really lively. I can't believe how many people are here.
Best pizza place around.
What sounds good to you?
I don't know. I usually just pick something out.
Right, whatever looks good. Just got pizza at No Anchovies and ready to explore the rest of what University has to offer. There's a lot of really good places to eat, a lot of fun places to shop. A lot of people will go there on game day. It's super packed, so get there early. 4th Avenue is a lot more mellow. It's kind of the more eclectic side of Tucson. There's really good crepe place that's there. One of my favorite places on 4th Avenue is Cafe Marcel, and they have crepes and a ton of good stuff. So yeah, come check it out. So you just can't beat that. That's like love. That's love on a plate.
That is.
And I went there and my world was changed and it was amazing. Our school has so much pride, and everybody who's here just like loves being here and loves being part of this like movement almost. And it's just a great school. Like if you're looking for research, there's that. If you're looking to have a good time, like there's so many different things to get involved in. If you're looking for great professors, we have that here. There's just so many different aspects of this university that are amazing. So, I mean, if you're on the fence, come on.
University of Arizona, a place to shine in the Tucson sun.
When I first moved to campus, I met a lot of people my freshman year who lived in my residence hall, and I really got to know them because obviously I lived with them, but I knew there were a lot more people out there, and I wanted to get to know people who had similar interests as I did, and I really wanted to contribute to campus as much as I could. So yeah, pretty much from the get-go, I started getting involved in stuff. Someone maybe who's looking to hire you after school is over might be like, well, what did you do all those other times, when you weren't in class? What did you do to contribute to your campus? What did you do to really gain experience? And the best way to do that is to really get involved with as much stuff as you can. So we just gotten out of class at 7:30. The sun had already gone down. It had been a really long day, but the most fun part of the day still lied ahead. That was the Chain Gang meeting. The Chain Gang is a group of juniors here on campus. There are 35 of us every year, and we are the most spirited people that we have here at the U of A. We're all about doing philanthropy for the school, really making the U of A a better community, and really just backing the cats and everything that we do. So I really enjoy my Chain Gang meetings because it's every Tuesday night. I can count on seeing all of my best friends there and us getting some really cool stuff done. We have 500 clubs here. We have everything from community service clubs to a corn dog appreciation club and everything in between. So, if you get involved with something like that, you automatically have at least one thing in common with everybody in that club. And that's the club that you're in. So it's a great way to meet all of your best friends, get a lot of experience doing things that might help you after college. Like I'm involved in a lot of stuff that's marketing related, and I'm a marketing major, so that's been great for me. And it's a great way to always keep things fun. I mean, it keeps you busy to be in extra stuff like that, but if it's fun and if you want to be there, you never feel like you're busy. You always just feel like you have fun stuff going on all the time.
So here we are at the Rec Center, state-of-the-art new building with so many different things to offer. They've got tons of weights and different stuff like that. Have a huge pool. The Rec is an awesome state-of-the-art facility. And their classes are really cool too. They all offer different specialties. Like I was thinking about taking ballet because I've never done ballet in my life. I had never played basketball ever in my life, and I shot a basket. I was so proud of myself. Just got to the Rec. My team was warming up over there, now they're out of the water, about ready to get into the pool over there. Basically, you sit in inner tubes and play water polo, but you can't leave the inner tube, and it's really fun. Like, you look like a beached whale, basically. Like, everybody just looks so bad at what they're doing that it just becomes this amazing thing. Just finished my first half of inner tube water polo. Definitely harder than I thought, but it's so much fun. Basically, the tube is so big that just your arms just hang off, and oh, it's definitely fun to watch. It's a good workout, trust me. My arms were like noodles the next day. Just find your niche. go out and do things and join clubs and join organizations and just be involved. I think you'll have so much of a better time.
The First Year Scholars Program is a living learning community. It really built the family environment for me. It was a home away from home, and I felt comfortable, safe, and I enjoyed it.
I came from Hashim Preparatory High School, and it's a small charter school. Our graduating class is only of 37. So coming from a school that had a capacity of like 200 people to a big university, it's hard. But being in classes where I knew people from the program, like the Courses in Common, and like just making friends and having that sense of community was easier.
The Courses in Common makes it comfortable for students to learn. We're still used, like in high school, we're still used to seeing familiar faces and stuff like that. But when we come here, we don't really know anybody, but in a way we can like relate to the native students that are in the classroom. So it makes the whole atmosphere a lot more comfortable, and learning is easier. The learning component for scholars is that we take classes together. We have gen ed classes that every U of A student has to take. The Courses in Common is kind of like pick specific classes. We have like math and English and trad and stuff like that, and you know, those classes tend to be really big. It helps that you have a familiar face and know who to study with and who to go to after class and to ask questions about and talk about.
They really help you in the long run. Without the First Year Scholars Program, I would probably end up dropping out this year. We make friends here, so it's easy for me to go to either my friends or the coordinators to say, I have this problem, I don't know what to do. So they'll really help you out.
Having that the professors could come and see you, like the LRC teachers or like the faculty members that work with NASA. So it's just a good way to get a good feel, like a good transition from high school to college.
Being in the program too, it helped me, have connections. I have support around the university. So it has really been a pretty good, positive experience, and they really try to take care of you. The NASA staff and everyone affiliated with the First Year Scholars Program.
I don't know of any other program like the First Year Scholars Program, and that is what caught my attention in the first place of coming to U of A. And I made so many friends, long-lasting friendships here and with the faculty too. So it's really made my experience very enjoyable here, and I love it. It's truly a second home to me.
There's always that support from NASA and everyone. They really get you ready for, I think, college.
We finished up the week and I had a couple midterms, a lot of classes, a lot of work, a lot of stuff to plan with Chain Gang. But then I got to the weekend, it was finally, there's a big reward for me working hard all through the week, so I got to have a little bit of fun and go to our basketball game against ASU. So we're going to the basketball game right now. We're playing ASU today, so it's kind of a big deal that we win because, yeah, exactly, they're a big rival. Also going on coinciding with the U of A game, we also happen to have the Tucson Festival of Books on campus, which draws writers from all over the country that come, and the U of A campus is filled with all these tents. We have 100,000 people here. So all those people there for all the books, plus all the people here to see us beat ASU. And the basketball game was just a really fun time to be on campus there on a Saturday.
So since we're in the Student Wildcat Club, is like the most hardcore fans here, we're just going to go in front of everybody here in line, so that's pretty cool.
So right before I go into the stadium, the thing I'm most concerned about is making sure I get a good seat. I try to get there as early as possible. For a lot of the football games, I get there 4 hours early to get there right in the front row. This basketball game, I was there a couple hours before it started. I was making sure I had all my friends together so we could grab a really good spot. So right when we went in, the Zona Zoo had a little table where they were handing out all sorts of stuff for us, and they handed us eye black. I was just so pumped about the game and so worried about getting it on that I actually put it on upside down. So.
The other one's upside down? No way? Oh my god, it totally is upside down. I can go back and get more, I think.
So by the time I put it on upside down to go get more eye black at the table, they'd already ran out. I had to wipe it all off, and they had another little temporary tattoo that said Zona Zoo on it, so went ahead and put that on.
Yeah, they're the right way this time. They're not upside down. That's good. I got it all set. We're ready for the game.
All right, so we got 3 minutes left. We're up by 20, so it looks like the Cats have done a great job today. We're going to go home with the win, so we're all pretty pumped here. We're going to go celebrate this weekend, beating the Sun Devils like always, so bear down, Cats. So you come to the U of A and you may think, man, I'm going to have all these really tough classes and I'm just going to be in school all the time, but there's really no need to fear because there's no shortage of other stuff that you can get involved with that can really help you have a great time here. It's really easy to balance having fun and going to school, and you can balance work and play just fine. Everybody finds their own way to do it. Everybody finds their own rhythm, and you'll get used to it pretty quickly. There's a lot of ways that you can sort of make it work for you.
Bear down. When we say it, when we scream it, it's not just about a school spirit. It's about a school soul. Bear down is bigger than the playing field. Bear down is that little voice egging me on to do something amazing. It's about teachers and friends who help me understand the answers and ask bigger questions. It's that thrill I get when I see there is no difference between work hard and play hard. Bear down is one more cup of coffee at 3 a.m. because when you love what you do and where you are, you turn challenges into opportunities and opportunities into great achievements. Bear Down is about this place. Its warmth and its people. It's about the moment that belongs to you when you realize that this is exactly where you're supposed to be. So that when you discover what you're meant to be, you'll set the world on fire.
So UA EMS is the emergency medical group on campus. The University of Arizona Emergency Medical Services provides emergency medical services for the entirety of the U of A and its outlying areas. Today we're practicing, we're bettering our skills, and we stage calls and respond to them just like we would a real call.
So guys, when we go in mock drills, what we're going to do is we're going to respond to this call, and you guys are my top EMTs and responders. So I want, Taylor, I want you to take lead on this one.
Okay.
All right. You're going to do C-spine. Make sure the patient is comfortable.
Okay.
All right.
So that Saturday we were dispatched to a mock bike accident as part of training. My job as a first responder would definitely be to hold C-spine. That's making sure their head doesn't move. I really wanted to go into forensic science. I have a really analytical mind, and I thought that that would be like a good fit for me. So I came to the U of A and I joined UAEMS, not really knowing exactly what I wanted to do with it. I think it was just kind of cool in the moment. But now that I'm in it, I've become so passionate about it, and I'm thinking about seriously making a career out of it. Get involved, find your niche. You never know where it'll take you. I think I found that, and I'm super happy about it. I'm Taylor Boyd, and come be a part of the U of A.
My name is Shakayla Bird. I am a freshman here at the University of Arizona, and my major is pre-pharmacy. I first learned about the center through a summer program through New Start, and coming in here is just like you have the computer lab, you have all your resources, everything that you need as far as if I needed a haircut or if I needed to find some place that has like traditional African food or whatever I need, it's right here in the center. Being a freshman here at the university, I'm a part of FAST, and it's basically 2 semesters of my first year here where I have an advisor who advises me on test-taking skills, studying habits, everything I need. The center also has a large variety of tutors, so you have your math tutors, your English tutors, everything that I need is right here in the center. BLACK, which is the acronym for Bringing Legends and Creating Knowledge, has basically helped me to develop leadership skills as far as me being able to go out into the community and being able to approach somebody and lend a helping hand as far as I'm able to. I see BLACK as one of those programs that's kind of like a retention thing for African Americans, because if they feel that they're being a part of something, then they'll stay. If they don't, then they're gonna leave. You know, if they don't have anything to be a part of, if they're just going to class every day and no curricular activities, no clubs or anything like that, they're gonna leave. So BLACK is basically one of those things to where it just keeps you grounded and you're involved in something. My recommendation for future students is to definitely take advantage of your resources, because a lot of times people will not use what they have and they'll take it for granted, and it can be taken away like this quick. So definitely take advantage of all your resources that are available here in the MLK Center. You have your computers, you have a sense of community, you have all your resources, whether it be internships or it be you need free tutoring or you need help with a lab report or whatever you need, it's right here in the center.
My name is Gandesa Orteza. I'm a senior majoring in nursing. I became involved with APASA since my freshman year. A friend of mine actually brought me to a club meeting, and then I didn't really know that I was in the APASA Center until another friend brought me back, and he started telling me about the different services they had, and just like it was an area to hang out in between classes. And then I became involved with the different clubs that they had and the events that they held. My first experience here, I felt really welcomed. It was really nice. I met a lot of people, especially those who had the same background as me. I mean, growing up, I didn't have a lot of Filipino friends or Asian friends at that, so I wasn't really connected with my cultural background back then. But now I am. I found a lot of people that I could connect to because they had the similar experiences that I had growing up. Personally, my experience with being involved in a club is not only finding friends, but it also helped me to adapt to college. Like, it was really cool to find other people who wanted to go on the journey with me, I guess. Well, first of all, socially, I met a lot of friends, and a lot of friends that I'm pretty sure I'll have after college. There's a lot of resources that the center offers. The first one is the EDGE program, and that's offered to incoming freshmen. They basically go through workshops to attain certain skills to succeed in college. APASA helped me find a scholarship that helped funded for a nursing school. I was really inspired by my experiences through APASA that anytime there's other students here, I like to help them out and see like what their interests are so that I can help direct them to the resources that I've used, or the different clubs that they can get into, or just help them get into nursing school too. The center is really important to have on campus because part of the college experience is finding yourself and finding your identity. And Asians don't really have that many resources, I guess. And their cultural background is really crucial to them growing up as a person. And APAS is like one of those resources where they can turn to. An Asian American student who's new to the campus and is just learning about the center, I would tell them to go to the center and meet new people and find out the resources that they have and to really take advantage of it because most of the resources, they're free. I mean, you're a student, so why not take advantage of the resources that they have so that you can succeed in school as well as socially and culturally.
Where you sit in the cafeteria is crucial because you got everybody there. You got your freshmen, ROTC guys, preps, JV jocks, Asian nerds, burnouts, varsity jocks, the greatest people you will ever meet, and the worst.
Hey Gachitos, my name is Lo Banneman. I'm the Executive Director here, and we're really excited to have you at camp, so please come join us. Check us out online or on Facebook. But basically, Bear Down Camp is the greatest experience you will ever have as a freshman and completely as a Wildcat during your hopefully 4 years here. So please check us out, come on down, and join us in Prescott, Arizona this August.
It seems students and guests, thank you for attending tonight's commencement. This concludes our event.
Hi there. So now we're going to start the new grad portion of this afternoon. So my name is Hannah.
And I'm Justin.
And we're both going to share a little bit about our experience as students at the University of Arizona, and then we will be able to take your questions after that. So I'll start with my experience. I absolutely loved attending the U of A, and I tried to get as involved as possible throughout my 4 years there. So I'll kind of break down the different types of things that I did throughout my time at U of A. So starting my freshman year, I was an in-state student. I came from the Phoenix area. I chose to live on campus. I was a member of the Honors College, similar to Justin, and I lived in an honors residence hall. One of the great things that I got involved with my very first year was Greek life. I went through formal sorority recruitment and joined a sorority the very first semester of college. So that was something that was really great that happened my first year. Also, towards the end of my freshman year, I decided to apply to give tours at the University of Arizona with a club called Arizona Ambassadors. So that was a really great experience. And I applied and got a job with the Office of Admissions working as a student worker for them. So by the time I finished my freshman year, I did have a job on campus and was involved in a couple of clubs, which was really great. By my sophomore year, I was living in my sorority house, really involved in my major. I was an English and creative writing double major with a minor in history. I had started off initially as undecided, but by my sophomore year, really decided what I wanted to go into more in depth. I also had the opportunity to be a president of a club on campus. We have a few different clubs there referred to as honoraries, and they're for students. Students apply that are particularly involved. They're able to participate in a lot of, spirited things. We got to sit at the 50-yard line at the football games, things like that. So that was a really great experience.
I also got involved with our student government my sophomore year. So we have student senators, 10 every year, that are elected to represent the student body. And I served as a aide to one of the senators. So I got to assist her with her platforms and different things like that. So that was a really exciting opportunity. After my sophomore year, I then traveled to Orvieto, Italy, which is one of the many study abroad programs that the University of Arizona offers for 5 weeks during the summer in between my sophomore and junior year. I was able to take 2 different classes for my English major while in Italy, so that was a really great experience. Junior year, I actually didn't go back to the U of A that first semester. Instead, I took a really phenomenal internship opportunity with Walt Disney World. So it's called the Disney College Program, and I got to participate in that first semester. And the U of A was really wonderful about working with me so that I could earn credit for that internship opportunity. And when I got back to U of A the second semester of my junior year, it was a really seamless transition. Another thing I did my junior year once I was back on campus was, as an English major, I had the opportunity to intern with a local Tucson magazine, doing some fact checking and things like that for them. Another internship experience that I got credit for, so that was really great as well. Some last things I did my senior year was able to participate in another kind of National Honor Society. I did get another on-campus job at the Campus Recreation Center. I also held a position as a director within our student government. So the University of Arizona has a student-run carnival every year. It's called Spring Fling. It is one of the largest student-run carnivals in the nation. And my senior year, I got to be the media director for that. So I was in charge of all the different PR, and I got to be on local Tucson news, things like that. So really cool opportunity to not only work within student government, but also doing something for the Tucson community. And then lastly, at one point in my senior year, I did get to study abroad again. Study abroad is, relatively affordable when you are in school, so I highly recommend it. And that time I got to go to Thailand and do some internship opportunities there. So that kind of covers just some general things that I did during my time at U of A.
Cool. Yeah. So I went to U of A also from the Phoenix area, so in-state. Definitely didn't really know what I wanted to do when I first got there, so I spent a lot of time just kind of meandering, taking gen eds of various things that were interesting, like mythology or astronomy, or oceanography was a big one. And I lived on campus for my first 2 years. I really recommend living on campus wherever you go. It's one of the best experiences of college. You really get to make friends fast because you're with hundreds of other people who are experiencing this big life adjustment, the same life adjustment that you are. You're able to, get to class 10 minutes before it starts in sweatpants if you want to. Professors don't really care. And definitely it's a way to get really involved on campus because you're right next to everything. During my freshman year, I got involved in a couple different filmmaking clubs, and that's eventually how I kind of decided that filmmaking was going to be my major. So I can also kind of go a little rundown of the different kinds of things that I was involved in, and then we'll have plenty of time for questions. So during my freshman year, when I was living in the dorms, I participated in our hall council, which is basically kind of like a mini student government for the dorm. So it's basically making decisions for the dorm, kind of trying to determine what types of activities you want to throw on, what sort of philanthropy or any sort of social events that you want to put together for all the events in the dorm. I lived in Yuma Hall, which is one of our honors dorms. So it was a really, really tight-knit community, about a little less than 200 students. So everyone got really involved with hall council to make the dorm a really, really inclusive place. It's a really great experience. And then sophomore year, which was around when I decided to be a filmmaking major, that's when I started getting involved in the local filmmaking community in Tucson, which is really strong. We have one of the best independent theaters in the nation, in my opinion. The Loft, it's a really cool place where people can showcase their own films and show off indie films and terribly corny B movies with giant fake monsters. It's just a glorious place. Junior year, I started getting involved in the internship portion of my media arts degree. So a lot of that was kind of networking with alumni that are currently working in the filmmaking industry. And that networking with alumni actually allowed me to land an internship working with the local ABC News affiliate, KGUN 9. So I worked there over the summer while also working at our financial aid office. So senior year, I continued working at the financial aid office and basically until I graduated, and also doing whatever I could to kind of interact with alumni before I graduated. So sending out emails, talking with faculty, basically really getting connected. So I had a really nice support network in the Media Arts College. It's definitely a really good resource going out into the workforce, having a college that has such a really strong alumni network. I loved it. And so I got involved in that. And then senior year, around when I was preparing for graduation, I was able to interface with an alumni to basically guarantee that I had an internship in Los Angeles as soon as I graduated. So it was a really, really great experience, and definitely one of many that I had at U of A.
Great. Well, we're happy to take any questions that have to do about the student experience, as well as any general questions too. So I think we have a couple right now that we can see what we can answer here. Quite a few. Let's see. So there are a few questions about the Honors College that we both can speak to, so we can start there. Definitely the specific question was, how difficult was it for you to be in the Honors College? And I would answer absolutely doable. We do have many students in the Honors College, but certainly not everyone has to be an honors student. It's absolutely an optional, academic route to take. However, there are many privileges that are there for honors students, so that was definitely something that I saw in it that was really great. I know one of the biggest things that I enjoyed about being an honors student was getting priority registration. So Chelsea and Emily may have covered this before, but that means that you get to register for your classes first. So as a freshman and sophomore, you're registering with juniors and seniors. Once you're a junior or a senior honor student, you're registering with veterans and athletes. So you really get your ideal pick of times, of days during the week, of the courses you want to take, and professors, which was a huge thing for me. There was a particular professor that I just adored, and I got to take many of his classes, and he's a reference for me to this day. He helps me get into my graduate program, things like that. So definitely, I found that to be really beneficial. Our honors students, though, they like to be involved with everything. So definitely, if you're concerned, will I have enough time to be in the honors college? Don't worry about that. Many honors students, they come in with those same kind of priorities. Historically, the student body president at the U of A is often an honors student. This last year, we had 140 NCAA athletes that were also honors students. So definitely, honors students are not just sitting in the library all day. They're doing quite a bit of other things. So definitely, you can do it all as an honors student, and it's a really supportive community, I would say. Anything you want to add to
Yeah, absolutely. There's not just a supportive community, there's also a ton of resources available for honors college students. There's actually a specific building on campus that is solely for the use of honor students. It's called Slonaker Hall. It's basically all-in-one study lounge, research center, tutoring, advising center. It's really great to kind of get one-on-one personalized attention and kind of have extra support as an honor student, especially when you might be taking a course that's a bit rigorous. To actually have that support is really, really great, and a really nice stress reliever as well.
Yeah, definitely. There have been a few questions coming in about Greek life, so I can address those just a little bit, kind of share my experience. So about 14% of the University of Arizona undergraduate population is involved with Greek life, so that means that it's certainly a big enough community if you're in it. There's lots of people to get to know, lots of activities, things like that. But on the flip side, it's only 14%. So certainly you won't feel pressured into joining Greek life. You won't feel like you're the only one not in Greek life. I think it's definitely kind of a good balance. Reasons why I wanted to join Greek life was that I knew I really wanted a community at the University of Arizona right off the bat, and I had some friends and family members that had been Greek and heard really wonderful things from them. So I decided to go through the formal recruitment process for both, traditional or social sororities and fraternities, as they're called, kind of the ones you might see in movies, like House Bunny or something like that. Recruitment for those sororities and fraternities take place the week before school starts. So you actually get to move into your residence hall if you're living on campus a whole week early, which is really great. You then spend an entire week visiting every single sorority chapter or fraternity chapter, depending on which recruitment you are going through. It is then what's called a mutual selection process. So after visiting each of the chapters, you would then narrow your choices down, usually to around 8 or 9. And then you would see, how the sororities or the fraternities narrowed their choices down too. So maximum you would visit 8 or 9 the next day, then 5 after that, then you narrow it down to your last 2. And then you get to pick your sorority or fraternity that you would like to join, and you find out if you were accepted into that chapter the Sunday before school starts. That was one of my very favorite things about it. So I actually knew what sorority I was in the very first day of school. I already had a place to go to for lunch. I had girls to sit with in my classes, things like that, which was really great. You will all get a shirt from your chapter on that Sunday, so everyone wears their shirt the first day of classes. It's a tradition. So you can not only find girls in your same chapter or boys in your same chapter, but also just see who is Greek on campus, which is really helpful. Definitely, there are many kinds of stereotypes out there about Greek life, and I have to say it is, you can find what you're looking for. It's not all like that. Any university or college that has Greek life, you certainly might come across some of the bad eggs, but really it's not, it's not all like that, which is great. I found that I had such a supportive community. I found that I actually got better grades, I think, because I was in a sorority. Each sorority has mandatory study hours. You have older students there, older girls in the chapter that have possibly taken that class, or they know what it's like to be working a job and going to school and doing something else, so it's really helpful. In my particular chapter, I was a Chi Omega at the University of Arizona. We had the student body president in our chapter for 2 years. We had girls, that were doing internships with crazy companies like MTV. They were studying abroad, doing all sorts of things. So besides the U of A alumni network, I also have that alumni network that I reach out to too, which I think is really powerful. Definitely Greek life isn't for everyone, but I highly recommend giving it a chance if it's something you're interested in. If you participate in recruitment, by no means do you have to join a sorority or fraternity. you know, for the rest of your life, be a member. You can just try it out and see if it's for you. And if it's not, definitely it's not something that you have to stick with your whole time. But for me, it was the perfect community to find at the U of A. So hopefully that answers some of the questions that we have been getting about Greek life. Let's see, do you want to pick a question?
Yeah, I guess going from that, got a really good question. How did we, if we did, balance our social lives while maintaining good grades at the U of A?
Just go for it.
Sure, okay. So it's definitely a challenge, at least at first. In high school, everything's really structured. And college, you learn a lot more about your own personal responsibility, maintaining your own timetable, all of that. But it's a really good growing experience. So it took maybe a month, admittedly, to actually kind of get into the swing of things. But definitely living on campus especially helped me kind of adjust to that. Because when you're living on campus, you have a lot of other people that have to do the same thing, balance, you know, an engineering degree with being involved in Greek life or philanthropy. So a lot of other people are kind of balancing their time and figuring out ways to remain social and, you know, be involved in the community while also maintaining good grades and eventually graduating. So definitely, I would say community really helps with that. Being, you know, connected with people who are all basically in the same boat. So that's kind of how I did it, was just being involved with people who are in the same situation and finding time with them to continue my social life while also going to class.
Yeah, I think everything that Justin said is definitely true. And also, I think something that I found was through my involvement at college, I found out that I really thrive being very busy, which is something I would have known had I not had those opportunities. I think being at a university or a college, wherever, it's a really great opportunity to see kind of what environment is best suited for you, to test new things, see how you can achieve that balance. It's a really good and safe kind of place to test those things out. So definitely try as many things as you would like. Let's see, let's get another question here.
Favorite non-traditional studies spot on campus?
Yeah, go for it.
Well, my favorite non-traditional study spot on campus, the Old Main Fountain might be kind of traditional, but it's still a really cool spot. So basically, Old Main Fountain is right next to Old Main, just kind of like the center of campus. It's just a really big fountain. It's been there since the university was founded almost. And it's, you know, it's just a really great, relaxing spot. It's always tranquil, people just riding bikes and kind of chilling in the grass outside of Old Main. So it's a really good spot to just sit down and study or just talk with friends. You can bring your lunch out there. It's somewhat not so secret university tradition to swim in Old Main Fountain before you graduate. So definitely it's one of my favorite spots on campus.
Yeah, I think I never had a study spot that was too crazy. Usually I would study at my sorority house or at my office in the student government offices, which was really nice. There'd be a ton of student government people there late into the night, all kind of working on different projects. So that was definitely something I enjoyed. Studying by our Olympic-sized swimming pool at the rec center was always something great that you could do. There's a grassy hill near our student union that a lot of people study at too. So definitely not a lack for some beautiful study areas at the U of A. There have been a few really great questions about kind of finding a job after you graduate, how to network. while you are in school. So I think we can definitely address that. Absolutely, it's something that takes a lot of initiative, I think, to really, you have to be the one to kind of go out there and make those connections, find those resources, things like that. However, the great thing about being a U of A student is there are just so many, people to network with and resources at your fingertips. It's just a matter of you going out there and finding them. Everything just from classes, every single professor has office hours where they are required to be in their office and wait and sit and speak with students. So that's such valuable time and a really good way to get to know professors. If your major is a field that you really want to stay with long term, get your job out of college in. In my experience, even the scariest professor has been nothing but very, very nice in office hours. Sometimes they have to put on that act, if they have a large lecture class, just to make sure that all the work gets done. But absolutely, once you're there one-on-one with them, it was always a really good experience for me. We have a really great career services department. They are happy to sit down with you and look over your resume, look over your cover letter, go through interview tips with you. We actually do mock interviews there, as well as many of the recruiters that come to campus. Many large companies and corporations, they recruit specifically U of A students. So if they're on campus, they will actually host their interviews through our career services office. So you don't have to worry about, going to a new building, trying to find your way there. When you're already worried about an interview, you can just find your way to the student union and you're able to have your interview there as well. But definitely, like Justin was talking about, really networking, not being afraid to send those emails or ask to be introduced to people, I think is really important.
Yeah, and on top of career services, most majors also have departments specifically dedicated to either alumni connection or career kind of workshopping or career building. A lot of advisors will be able to kind of help you tailor your resume for whatever specific industry you're going into, as well as offer support connecting you with alumni based on their own connections, because most professors at U of A will have students who have gone on and done really great things elsewhere, and they'll still keep in touch because a lot of UA professors are really kind of invested in your future. So, a lot of them will be able to say, I just had coffee with a student who graduated in 2005, and here's their number, here's their email. So definitely getting involved with your major and the faculty in your major is also a really kind of great way to help your career search, even before graduation, but definitely after graduation as well.
Something kind of going off of that, the alumni network for the U of A is so strong, particularly with our young alumni. We have alumni in all 50 states, so if you are an out-of-state student, odds are that you can probably find an alumni in your area. If you plan on returning to the state that you're from or moving to a state that is in Arizona once you graduate from U of A, you can kind of rest assured that there will most likely, if there's not a specific alumni club in that area, you will probably find someone that went to U of A. During my semester in Florida, I can't even say how many times I got people telling me bear down, all the way across the country. So it was really pretty cool experience. A really, cool thing that the Alumni Network does for all of you that are prospective students to know is that many times they offer scholarships for incoming students. So definitely if you're in kind of a larger, urban area, and like a big city, I know we have alumni networks in many of those places, and they often offer scholarships. So it might be worth going onto our Alumni Association website and seeing if there is an alumni organization in your area and if they do offer scholarships, because that could be something really great to look into if you are coming to U of A in fall of 2015. A lot of people have asked about when the application is available, when you can apply, and we can just cover that again really quickly, the application will be available August 1st. Highly recommend applying early. Apply early, apply early. I know when I was a student, I applied around October, had my decision, everything ready to go by my winter break of my senior year of high school. So it just makes everything so much easier. You know, you get kind of your pick of which residence hall you would like, things like that. So it definitely, you know, makes it easier on you, makes it easier on the parents, things like that. So definitely as soon as our application is available in August, I would absolutely recommend applying definitely sometime within your first semester of your senior year.
Yeah. So we also have quite a few questions as far as financial aid. So definitely this particular question is, if I'm not an in-state student, can I still get financial aid? Absolutely. So all financial aid is based on your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. So students can complete the FAFSA for 2014, 2015 starting in January, for 2015, 2016 starting in January of 2015, etc. Basically, it becomes available the January before that school semester starts. And definitely with the FAFSA, a lot of counselors always say apply early to things, but the FAFSA is definitely something that you need to apply early for. U of A's financial aid, priority financial aid deadline is March 1st, and students who complete their FAFSA before that are able to be considered for institutional grant funds, which is basically grant funds, free money, in addition to what the federal government can allot for you. So it's always a good idea to complete the FAFSA as soon as possible, but both in-state and out-of-state students are eligible for those funds. There's not a difference in consideration for it. It's basically just based on the number provided in the FAFSA by you, and then what basically shows up in our system determines what the financial aid office is able to offer.
A question that we just got in says, will it hurt my admission if I don't send in all the requirements at once? So we don't have too many requirements for admission. It will not hurt your admission. However, you definitely want to send in all those pieces as soon as you can. So there's a few different things that we require: a completed online application, your official high school transcripts. So we actually evaluate you based off of the GPA you have at the end of your junior year. We will, of course, make sure that you graduate from high school, so all those courses that you take during your senior year are very, very important, but you do not have to wait until you finish your first semester of senior year to send in your transcript. So send in your official high school transcript as soon as possible to us. And then we also have an application fee. So fee waivers are available. You can speak with your high school counselors to get a fee waiver. However, once we have those three things, the online application, the official high school transcript, and the fee waiver, only then can we start evaluating you for admission. So it definitely won't hurt you if you don't send in all those things on the same day. However, if you send in your application in August and wait to pay your fee until February, we cannot evaluate you until we have everything, you know, at that last date. So definitely it's in your best interest to send things as soon as possible. One component, though, that doesn't go along with that is your SAT or ACT test score. So we definitely recommend sending in either one of those test scores. However, they are not required. They are only required for certain majors, for consideration for honors college, and for consideration for scholarships. So everyone likes free money, like Justin was saying, so you definitely want to send in your test score to see if you qualify for any of that, but we will not wait, or it will not hurt you, as the question asked, if you don't send that in right away. So just know that if you wait to send in your test score, you will not be considered for scholarships or for the honors college if you apply to that college until we receive that test score. So hopefully that makes sense. If you do need any clarification on that or anything, kind of goes with anything we're talking about, definitely recommend going to the Who's My Recruiter page on our admissions website and emailing your recruiter, and they can absolutely clarify those things for you. Let's see here. We did have a few questions about visiting campus, which is exciting. Definitely recommend visiting the campus. Oftentimes we have students telling us, you know, it's great to hear information about U of A, but it really kind of sealed the deal for me once I was in Tucson on the campus and kind of saw myself there as a student. If you log on to the admissions website, it's just admissions.arizona, the whole word, .edu. You can find our tour dates. We are doing tours all throughout the summer. I think currently there are tours right now Monday through Saturday every day at 9 a.m. So definitely you can participate in those during the summer. We also offer tours every weekday during the academic year, once at 10 in the morning and once at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and then also at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. So we have quite a lot of visit options on campus. Definitely recommend visiting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, do you want to talk more about scholarships? I know we talked about financial aid, but.
Sure, yeah. So like Hannah was saying, the way you're considered for merit-based scholarships is if you include your test score with your application. Because it's not required, you know, you don't have to, but it's free money, so absolutely I recommend it. But definitely it's something that, you know, if you submit your application and then you submit your ACT, SAT test score, the scholarships can range from for in-state students all the way up to $10,000, and for out-of-state students all the way up to $16,000, and those are per year, so it's renewable for 4 years, so definitely a lot of money and support available for students to apply. And then another question just came in: how late can I send in my SAT or ACT scores? So we accept those until May 1st. The May 1st before fall semester. So for 2015-2016, that'll be May 1st, 2015. So definitely, even if you take it and send in your score, if you want to retake the test, if you think you can get a better score, or you maybe studied a little extra and really want to try and improve the score on it, then absolutely we'll take that updated score and we'll take the best of the two. So we don't super score it, which is where you take the best parts of each. We take the best score from one session. But definitely highly recommended. And because there's no preference between the SAT or ACT, there are tons of practice tests available online. So we always recommend, you know, try one of the practice tests or try both. And really get a feel for which one you prefer, because they definitely have different styles, each of them, the SAT and the ACT, and whichever one you're more comfortable taking is probably the one that you're going to do the best at. So that's kind of what we recommend as far as taking those tests.
While we're on the subject of tests, another question came in: what is the score needed on the SAT or ACT to get into the Honors College? So there is no required SAT or ACT test score that will automatically get you into the Honors College. Similar to how we review for the University of Arizona, it is a comprehensive process, the way they look at their honors students. So they're looking at the rigorous coursework you took in high school, so any advanced, honors, dual enrollment, AP, IB classes. They're also looking at your GPA, as well as that test score. They do need a test score. You can find averages for the incoming honors class on their website, just honors.arizona.edu. However, please keep in mind that those are just averages, so they are not a minimum, things like that. They have a wide range of students with test scores getting into the Honors College. However, if your test score is a concern, something that you're worried about, definitely once again recommend applying early, because selection to the Honors College is selective. So if you are not initially admitted into the Honors College, if you apply early, you will have the opportunity to participate in what is called freshman review. So that is for students that were admitted to the University of Arizona, but were not initially admitted to the Honors College. When you participate in freshman review, you have the opportunity to give them kind of a bigger picture of who you are as a person. So they ask for essay questions, they ask for letters of recommendation from some teachers, things like that. So it's a really good opportunity, you know, if maybe you're not feeling so great about that ACT or SAT test score, keep that in the back of your minds and definitely apply early. Let's see, another question. How many weeks does it take to be accepted once you send everything in? So we do have some guaranteed deadlines. This year, if you apply by October 15th, you are guaranteed to have a decision by November 5th. Same with if you apply by November 15th, I believe you are guaranteed to have a decision by December 5th. So those are some early decision deadlines that we have. Those early decisions are non-binding, so you're not required to attend the University of Arizona if you do choose to apply early. They're just kind of to help you guys out so you can get your decision a little faster. After those early decision deadlines, we go on rolling admission. So it could be anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks until you receive your decision after those deadlines. And that is once we have received everything. So it'll be 6 to 8 weeks once we have received all the components of your application. So it's not just from the date where you first submit your online application. Same with that October 15th and November 15th deadline, we must receive everything by those days in order to qualify for those.
So a couple of different questions that we can quickly address. Does the UA application require any letters of recommendation or subject SAT tests? Nope. You don't have to worry about that. If you send subject SAT tests with your SAT score, you know, we'll say congratulations, but you don't need to include those. And then also, does UA use the Common Application? Nope. The UA application is available on our website at arizona.edu/future-students. So you can go there and then select if you are a freshman or a transfer student, and then you'll be able to just fill out the application online.
All right, great. Another question that we just got asked why there is no minimum GPA for the U of A. So as I said, we practice comprehensive review. The line that I say, and it's a little cheesy, but we do not admit GPAs to the University of Arizona, we admit people. So we're looking at you holistically as an individual. So that's why we take a look at your GPA. It's definitely a factor. Just because there isn't a minimum one does not mean it's not important. It is certainly important. Same with your test score if you do submit one. Those rigorous courses, how you're doing in class absolutely matters to us, but so does what you're doing outside of the classroom. So any volunteer experience, work experience, we think that's so important. Any clubs or activities you're involved with, sports, we have an entire section of the application, and I really highly recommend that you fill that out. Really take the time to list the many things that you're involved with or that you've done in your community. It helps out a lot. We do also have an optional personal statement. So if there's other things you want to let us know, things that you're passionate about, reasons why you want to attend the University of Arizona, we will also take that into consideration too. But definitely we do have high academic standards here at the U of A. Our average GPA for this incoming class was a 3.4, so certainly it is something we take into consideration, but we also look outside of that too, which I think is something that makes us really special. Let's see, Justin's going to find us another question here.
Scrolling through. Okay, so we kind of touched on this, but Someone asked if you can stay in a dorm all 4 years. Absolutely, if you'd like to do so. I know I lived on campus for only 2 years, but I really enjoyed the community, so I certainly could have stayed longer. But to be convenient for work purposes, I had to kind of move off campus for my commute. How long did you live on campus?
I lived in a residence hall for 1 year, and then I lived in my sorority house, which was also on campus for 2 years, and then I moved off just not too far away.
Yeah. So we definitely recommend it. About 80% of our freshmen live on campus. And like I had mentioned, it's a really great way to meet friends, but also because you're so close to campus and so connected with things, we found that freshmen who live on campus have higher GPAs, and they're really able to kind of adjust to university life faster. Plus dorms have lots of activities, so there's always something to do. And most dorms have what's called faculty fellows. So it's basically members of UA faculty from different departments that kind of visit and just chat with students or have a pizza lunch with them or something like that, just to kind of give you face-to-face time with faculty and pick their brain about things they might be working on, or just get some one-on-one time so that you have some extra resources, whatever your major is.
Another question we got was asking if many students take summer classes. I don't have the numbers in front of me right here, but I would definitely say it is a popular option for students. We do offer a lot of courses during the summer on campus, but also online. I was in New York one summer, and I was able to get my math credit out of the way while I was in New York, which was really great. Also, through study abroad opportunities, we offer a variety of summer classes. So they're usually around 4 to 6 weeks. Really great option for students that want to travel abroad during their university experience, but maybe don't want to leave campus, don't want to miss the football or the basketball games, things like that. And the majority of our study abroad programs, they are attached with some kind of course credit. So you can get either language credit done, depending on your major. Sometimes you can get actual major coursework done in a foreign country. So that's definitely another really great thing. Also, the U of A is willing to work with you if you want to take courses at another institution over the summer and transfer those credits. So maybe you're going back home to California, you want to take classes somewhere nearby, USC, UCLA, something like that while you're there for the summer. They can work with you to also transfer those courses. So definitely summer classes are a good option. We do also offer winter courses as well. So if you wanted to take a course over winter break, they're definitely accelerated since winter break's only a couple of weeks, but that's another option as well. Let's see what other questions we have here. We'll be wrapping it up shortly, but we can probably answer 1 or 2 more.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
Yes. So one of the questions was, if we are from out of state, would you recommend us visiting the campus first, or does it really matter? Yes. You always want to visit a campus, especially if it's one of your top 3 or top 5 schools. When I was originally considering colleges, I was basically neck and neck between U of A and UCLA. And so I made sure to visit both during spring break, and U of A kind of had a really, really close-knit appeal and atmosphere that I didn't really feel at the other universities. So definitely campus fit can really matter. And if you go out of state and you haven't visited a campus before you commit, you might get to the campus and just find this might not be a good fit. So I would always recommend visiting your top choices before you actually commit to university, just so you know if it's the right decision for you.
Another great thing about our tour options is that all of our student tour guides are, first of all, volunteers, so no one gets paid to give a tour on our campus, which is something kind of unique. and they're all current students. So if you want a really honest perspective of why a student enjoys going to the U of A, you'll get that through our tours, which I think is really important. And there's also additional ways that you can see campus. So the tour takes you through a few key buildings. However, we also have class cats, which is an opportunity to shadow a student in an actual class. So if there's a major that you're really interested in, or you think you're really interested in, you can go with them. As a creative writing student, I was able to bring a prospective student with me into my fiction workshop. She was able to see kind of the atmosphere and how it worked, things like that. And usually if you do a class cats experience, those students are almost always willing to kind of get coffee with you afterwards, talk, show you something that you maybe haven't seen before. Also, many of our academic colleges offer their own tour options. Just one that comes to mind is our business school. They offer separate tours of the business school. So definitely if there's a specific major or a program, you can look into that as well. Looks like there's another one that we got in just recently.
Yeah. Does UA offer apartment housing off campus? If so, which is more expensive on average? Yeah, U of A definitely has some off-campus housing options. There are a couple student-only apartment complexes kind of really close to campus and also just around the Tucson area. Really depends as far as pricing. Like any other place you go to, any other place you try and find living for, prices really vary based on location and then kind of the amenities offered. But in my opinion, moving from on campus to off campus between sophomore and junior year, there's a lot of resources that are available when you're living on campus and in a dorm that aren't necessarily available when you're in your own apartment. So in Yuma, they have community bathrooms, which sounds kind of terrifying at first when you don't know what they really are. But they're not like the faceless, wall-less bathrooms like in 1980s college movies. They're all private stalls and really nicely furnished, and they're cleaned every day. So you don't have to worry about any of that. They're cleaned and ready for you, which doesn't happen when you live off campus. You have to handle it yourself. So it's definitely, I really enjoyed not having to worry about cleaning my own bathroom when I was on campus. But kind of those amenities sort of balance out when you consider living on campus and then living off campus. So you might be saving some money in those costs, but when you live on campus, you get free Wi-Fi. There's Wi-Fi basically everywhere on campus. You have basic cable, tons of other things that you basically have to have extra when you're living on your own. So definitely it's kind of a balanced way of looking at it, but personally, I enjoyed living on campus more than off campus.
We got a question just now that I think is great. It asks, do you have any advice for those new freshmen who are shy coming into a big university? So I can definitely relate to that. I think my biggest advice would be just finding that home for yourself and finding that community on campus, whether it's through a club or an organization or through your residence hall or through your major. Definitely it requires putting yourself out there a little bit, so you kind of have to break out of your comfort zone a little bit, but that's the great thing about college is that it's a place where you can do that and really feel safe and secure about it because like Justin said before, everyone's in the same boat. So even if they don't seem shy on the surface, they're probably just as scared as you are. So, leaving your door open, in the residence hall, kind of introducing yourself to people really helps a lot. But definitely try a bunch of things, I think would be my other advice. Anything that sounds like it might be a good fit, go ahead and try it because you never know what you'll fall into. That'll be a really good fit for you and a place that you really feel welcome. And if that doesn't come your freshman year, keep trying and keep trying and keep trying because I know people that, didn't fall into what they found was their community until their junior year or something like that. And now those are still their best friends and some of their fondest memories at university. So definitely, it is scary going to a big university, but it's also wonderful because you have so many opportunities and, you know, so many chances to find the right fit for you. Any advice that you would say?
Yeah, I mean, basically the exact same thing, but definitely I was in the same boat. I was a really quiet kid in high school, and then my, not roommate, but suite mate, kind of opened his door when I was first walking up the hall, and he called me over and asked if I had a Zona Zoo pass, which is the sports pass for U of A. And I said, no, I'm not really into football. And basically he forced me to march out and get a Zona Zoo pass as soon as possible. And screaming along with about 10,000 other people during one of our football games, and then during our basketball games, those are some of my favorite memories of campus. So really just opening yourself up, you know, taking some chances that you might not normally take. And then, you know, I had some random roommates, which also was initially kind of terrifying. But I was actually just in my first random roommate's wedding this past month. So lifetime friends, it's really easy to make them when you're in such a really great community.
Yeah. It looks like we just have a couple more minutes, so I know we definitely were not able to get to every single question on here, but there are a lot of really good ones. So I would really encourage you to go to the admissions website and find the Who's Your Recruiter tab. And there you can, that's your admissions counselor, your recruiter, and they are there for you. So they are kind of your window to all things U of A while you are in high school. So absolutely, you know, send them an email, give them a call, things like that. And they can answer any additional questions that you have. Also definitely recommend setting up a tour if that's another, you know, thing that you're considering. If you're interested in U of A after participating in the webcast today, I want to know a little bit more. That's definitely a great way to learn a few more things. Let's see, should we give like one more piece of advice or thing about U of A that we like before we go?
What's your favorite memory of U of A?
My favorite memory of U of A, I think kind of similar to Justin, you know, with the Zona Zoo thing, definitely that sense of community. For Greek life every year, there's a philanthropy event where all the sororities compete against each other in a bunch of like obstacle courses and flag football and things like that. And I think absolutely one of my favorite memories was just being out there freshman year on the mall, you know, middle of the week, kind of just cheering and screaming and having so much fun, you know, really kind of feeling like I belong somewhere, I think, and also having an absolute blast at the same time. I think that was one of my my fondest memories. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think mine was probably our first weekend of my freshman year was our very first football game, and it was delayed for about 2 hours due to rain and lightning, and everybody vacated the stadium except for Zona Zoo, and everyone in Zona Zoo stayed while it was raining and lightning was flashing and people were saying it's dangerous, but Zona Zoo didn't care. We were just screaming and yelling and just basically letting, you know, our school spirit show through crazy storm conditions. And then the game started about 2 hours later and we were all still there and still screaming and still spirited. And it was an amazing experience. It was probably the first time I actually realized I enjoy sports. So definitely that was probably my favorite U of A memory.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, and thanks for all the great questions. And we hope to hear from you soon if you have anything else that we can answer for you. All right. Have a good rest of the day.
Bye.